It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
So where's the office, back at Division? Yeah, in the office, baby. Going out.
Here we go. Day 1 in the books.
Let's go, baby.
I'm still riding high. When did that thing end? About 11:45?
Oh, easy, 11 and some change.
You can't get me off this high. I saw the sunrise at Liza's.
Yeah, it was a grind.
Manelli's? No. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, the loose cannon, hat turned backwards, ready to go.
He might have the hat of the day over there. What Super Bowl hat do you have on right now? Show the YouTube camera.
What is it?
It looks good. I'm pretty sure that's a Super Bowl hat.
Miller Lite or something like that?
It was backwards, but I had to turn it around for the YouTubers. I think 28.
Think 28. Okay. No, it looks good.
Which is BC.
You guys did not make me aware that we were all supposed to wear a Super Bowl hat today. You've got a beautiful Las Vegas Super Bowl hat on right now. He has a Super Bowl hat. I'm just repping my Ravens. So, yeah, a little FOMO for me right now. I feel left out that I'm not a part of the Super Bowl hat squad
you got
today.
The flock.
The Super Bowl
like
hat squad.
I feel like I had to rep my squad today after last night.
So, this is a box.
Oh, goodness.
From Green Bay.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. Mm-hmm. I think it's from my boy, the Elegant Farmer.
Well, let me say this to all my loved ones. If this is it, I just know I love you. If we're going to open this right now live on the air in studio, I got to get my love out there to my loved ones.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Careful about mail delivered.
If we're nervous, I can definitely do it outside. But I did take a picture of it and send it to Whiskey Paul. And I said, is this yours? Mm-hmm. And he said yes.
Okay, we're good then. Open
so I think we're okay.
Yeah, I think you open
now
it up.
he's either screwing with me, sending me some sort of Packer draft hat gear, something like that.
Yeah.
Or it may be something that we've grown to love about him, which is that it's very whiskey related. Not whiskey as in the drink, but whiskey as in Wisconsin. Maybe some Spotted Cow, maybe something else.
Cheese curds in there?
There could be some cheese curds in here.
Tell you what, Green Bay looked like it was on fire last night. I saw a report that it was about
the bicycles,
200,000 people that were there on site. I was thinking about this last night. How would you feel, AR, if you were one of the people that owned a home right around Lambeau Field?
I'd love it.
And all of those people were there. You got to rent it out, don't you?
That's what I was going to say. At least the parking.
Yeah, we're running it up, too.
It's not like my dad did when they were going to put lights in Wrigley Field. And he voted against it and hated it. He didn't want those people stumbling out drunk every night after a night game at Wrigley. He's in the neighborhood.
I'm not mad at that at all. But I felt for the people because if you're one of those people that wanted to get to bed at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, there was no way that was happening last night. What do you got over there?
It is an NFL draft hat.
Yeah.
It doesn't really have Packers on it.
Okay.
Oh, no. I lied. It just has Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Just the location of the draft.
And then.
It's a good looking hat.
Nice koozie with a draft. Green Bay. So he gave me a little taste of Lambeau.
Shout out to you, Whiskey
Not
Paul.
Even green and gold, so I can wear it.
You can rock that. Yeah. He's the man. He's the man.
The Elegant Farmer comes through.
Yep.
Well done.
As he always does.
Did you enjoy... By the way, it kind of smoothed along a little bit last night. I don't think...
I mean, the end result was still 11:30, 11:45, as you mentioned. But when you were watching the draft, and I was on the ESPN broadcast, so I was with Greeny and Louis Riddick and Mel Kiper and Booger McFarland. I know they had, I believe, some of the game day guys and Saban and the crew on ABC, and then you had Daniel Jeremiah, Rich Eisen, and all those guys with Charles Davis on the NFL Network. So I was locked in on ESPN for the most part.
Yeah. Listen, it is what it is. Like you said, Green Bay looked amazing last night. It was absolutely packed. Of course, why wouldn't it? The weather looked pretty good, cool, but not overly horrible. And it was one of those nights that, certainly. So I was right and I was wrong. I was right in how I read Haslam, and that he took the public bullets for the Watson thing to then buy the fan base's patience, that the whole digging ourselves out of the hole and this whole we got to get the draft right was not about a single player. And that's exactly what happened. I was wrong in that I didn't think that there was smoke to be blown by Andrew Berry because I felt like that Travis Hunter was worth the number 2 pick. That it wasn't, once I realized they weren't taking a quarterback a while ago, that I really felt like there was a can't-miss player in Hunter or Abdul Carter. When Garrett came back, I moved off Carter, and I went all in on Hunter. Those players come along once in a generation, maybe less.
Right.
And that's why I thought, why would he be doing that? Schefter believed it as well when we had Schefter on Wednesday.
He was reacting to what Andrew Berry was saying. How could you call a guy Shohei Ohtani and not take him?
That's right. So I'll ask it this way. Can it be both? Could he think that he's going to be an awesome player, yet know that they are not in the situation where they're a one-player fix, they're not going to fix it fast, and that the marching orders from the owner were to let's use this slot number 2 to see if we can't replenish the cupboards and then try to build it through bulk rather through a one unicorn type of player. Shohei is different. He could pitch and hit when they got him. I know he maybe could play corner and receiver, but they're just not the team that's the one player away. So I started believing that because last night, Maddie, I was like, okay, did he do all that just to try to get the offer? That he wanted out of number 2 all along, that it never really was about Travis. Now, he might have been stuck into taking him. Stuck's the wrong word. He may have taken him if one team, because I don't know, there weren't multiple teams that were going to offer him what the Jags offered him, give him another first rounder and a better quarterback draft and all that. So I'll come out of this thinking that he definitely won the trade on paper. I have no idea whether big picture. It also tells me that this patience thing that Haslam was preaching, that maybe they are practicing what they're going to preach now, that they are going to let these guys try to have another bad year. Remember when I said about a month ago, like, try to tell your fans, you've had bad years. We just had one. How about another? If it means that you get your guy in 26.
So the quote that you're talking about came out of the owners' meeting. And Jimmy Haslam, as you've laid out a few times, he came out there and you know what? He ate a blank sandwich. And honestly, I think it was time to do that. It was time to do that because they were out of sight, that being the Haslams, for a while now. And I think it was too long when it came to addressing some things, specifically the quarterback position. So when he comes out at the owners meeting and says, this may be a process that takes a year or two, that takes us inside the mind of the owner. I do believe, leading up to last night, that they were going to draft Travis Hunter at 2. My guess is, AR, they got a call from Duval County, from the Jacksonville Jaguars headquarters, and they said, we're really interested in getting 2-2. What would it take? And I think at that point in time, Andrew Berry, Stefanski, the Haslams, you regroup and you react to, okay, we could slide down, get a good player, but also on the back end of this, possibly solve our biggest issue, which is the quarterback position down the road, and it's that 2026 first-round pick that you're talking about. And for a franchise that has been starved to find a guy that will give them a future at the quarterback position, I could understand why they would move off that pick, looking to next year and packaging a couple first-round picks to move up to get Arch Manning, to get Carson Beck, whoever the guy is going to be next year, we don't know. I loved Travis Hunter for them. I really did. The offensive help that I think he could have given them right out of the gate, which they need, I thought he was just there for the taking. And look, there's possibilities tonight with where they're picking that you can grab a wide receiver early on, 33, a couple picks after that, whoever you like, Jaden Higgins, Luther Bird, whoever, they can still solve that problem. So for a franchise, because of the Deshaun Watson deal, that needs rookie contracts that can be impactful players for them and give them some wiggle room. I get why they did it, but now you're in a position where you're not the only team coming out of last night that's thinking the exact same way because of what the Rams did. So you're going to have to bank on Jacksonville being pretty mid to bad to put yourself in position to not have to trade up as far next year. And also the Rams not having a sweeter deal than you next year because of what they did with the Falcons getting another 2026 first-round pick to jump you to get that quarterback. So a lot of moving pieces here. At the end of the day, I get why they did it, AR. I just don't love what they did just because of how much I like Travis Hunter for them.
With you. It's not that I hated the move. I think it was probably the appropriate move for the Cleveland Browns to do this. I actually wanted them to trade back again.
Just keep going down. Yeah.
But that's easier said than done. When I came in here yesterday and we were making some bold predictions, I said that the Bears were going to move up to Jacksonville. I didn't have Jacksonville moving up. I had them moving down. I had them trading, but not the way they did. And that was pretty bold for them to do that. And so when the Browns got their pick at 5, I'm like, go back again. Call the Bears. They want Genty. Call them. Maybe they did.
Maybe.
And maybe they were, that just wasn't enough. Mason Graham's a good football player, maybe borderline great at his position. I don't know if he's a game wrecker. He's a very, very stabilizing force on the interior of a defensive line.
Yeah.
And I know here in Columbus, Ohio, it penetrates more because of what he did to Ohio State. And we view Ohio State as the benchmark. But I just don't know if what they did is they sacrificed, obviously, the unicorn and Hunter to take a really good player and also stockpile. The win was the first-round pick next year.
No question.
The win was that.
No question.
Like, I could look on paper and tell you, like, if I bring up the trade, I could absolutely tell you that they won that trade. But they didn't yet because I have no idea who they're going to take and whether it's going to work out.
And you don't know where that first-round pick will be next year for Jacksonville.
Well, they'll have their own, and then they'll have Jayville's.
But that's what you're banking on as a Browns fan, is you're going to be rooting against the Jaguars all of next year. So that pick is as high as it possibly can be. And what else may be different next year is that the class of quarterbacks may be deeper as far as high-end prospects at that position. And so we may be looking at next year. If you're a Browns fan, that's what you want to hope for, is that next year's draft class mirrors the draft class from last year, and that you're in position to grab a Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, one of those guys, and there's 4 or 5 guys in a draft class that a lot of people have confidence in at that position. This year, that just wasn't the case.
All right, we'll go over the trade, exactly what they got back, exactly what they gave up. And then the Buckeyes had a night, and it kind of came fast and furious in the back half of the draft. We'll go over that and a lot more. We're back in moments. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT. Kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
When your boy Flavor Flav counts from 3, you're going to go to Cane's and you're going to order hand-battered, cooked-to-order chicken fingers. 3, 2, 1. Raising Cane's. One love.
Common Man here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Watching big events are more fun at Hollywood Casino. For example, there's this draft thing coming up. Large men get selected to move to different cities and play football. That's all I'm legally allowed to say. Not only do you get the excitement of on-site wagering and camaraderie, there's prizes to win at the Sportsbook. And sign up for Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on the house. Do it now. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know how annoyed people get when they worry about their sump pump?
Ah, the sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
They try whacking it to see if it'll start.
A technique known as the sump pump thump, I believe.
Or they feel around to see if something inside is clogged.
That would be a sump pump clump.
Get Eco.
But the last thing they want is to be caught in a rainstorm or a snowmelt with a flooded basement because the stupid thing didn't work.
No one wants to be a sump pump chump, Aaron.
That's why we have the $89 sump pump inspection. We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
All that for just one small sump pump lump sum.
Absolutely. Shouldn't you be out inventing things?
I'm in a bit of a slump.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is proud to be the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence Award for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on the fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and the Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
We plant trees because people need trees, and when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. We're looking at more chances for showers and storms as we head through this afternoon. A few could be a little gusty, but for the most part, just run-of-the-mill rain and some thunder. But watch out for heavy downpours. Highs in the mid-70s. We'll drop to the 50s tonight as rain showers eventually exit. Cooler tomorrow and clearing. Highs in the low 60s. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
So the Brownies pulled a little bit of a magic show last night. Good for them. Leaned into the rebuild. A lot of teams don't want to tell their fan base that they're rebuilding, even though we know they are. I still am very confused over the whole Myles Garrett excitement, but I've never been offered $40 million a year. So I don't know what that feels like. Maybe that was it. Maybe I don't know what vision they sold him on, because why would Myles Garrett sign up for a rebuild at where he is? All he said, I don't want to go to Cleveland Canton.
It's about the Super Bowl, baby.
So now,
need that Lombardi.
If they're not going anywhere for the next 3 years, and then, by the way, if they do get a quarterback next year, he's still going to be a rookie. So I'm very confused. Maybe I should just not be that naive and say when they handed that bag to Myles Garrett, that was enough. And then you know what they did? They sent him out in public and said, you need to do some damage control on what you did at Super Bowl at Radio Row. Maybe. And you did say, quote, I'm on board. Because if you're going to wear this uniform, we can't have you in and out.
Yeah.
We can't have you ripping us in the public and still taking our money.
Who knows if they could force him to do that? I don't know how all that works.
Not force him, but just kind of say, hey, we want you to be on board when you sign this contract.
Who knows how that works? You may be right, but when he did sit down with Andrew Siciliano from the NFL Network, he was locked in on the quarterback plan and felt really good about it.
Can they still get Cousins?
Exactly. I don't know if they want to eat that money. They don't feel like the team that wants to
buy it down a little bit.
Invest even more in that, because Atlanta sounds like they want you to eat a large amount of money. What's so unfortunate about all this, if you're a Browns fan, and this all may work out. Mason Graham may turn into a heck of a player. I think that potential is definitely there, especially when you pair him on the same D-line with a Myles Garrett. You can get interior pressure. He can create that with Hall, and you could have two guys there, the former Buckeye Hall, and now you got Mason Graham. in the middle of a D-line that can get busy. I see the vision there because a lot of times that's where the games are won and you can wreck a lot of games there. What's unfortunate about this, though, is that you're a Browns fan and you have the year, another bad year, unfortunately, and you're picking in the 2-hole, and this just isn't the draft that has the quarterbacks that are ready for you to just pick off with the number 2 pick. It's similar to what happened to Cleveland in the 2013 NBA draft. I was talking to Shark about this morning. That year was Anthony Bennett and Victor Oladipo, and then you had Giannis got picked at 15, and there was some okay players in that draft, but just the unfortunate timing for Cleveland at the time was there wasn't the home run pick at number 1. And for Cleveland, they're just the Browns now, you're a year late. If this was last year's draft, you're walking away with one of Caleb Williams and Jane Daniels and feeling really good. So the work to do at the most important position is still there. But now you have draft ammunition to make a move in next year's draft, or if something unforeseen happens around the league to where a good quarterback becomes available via trade, you can now offer those picks to a team that has a ready-made product at the position. I don't know what they're going to do at quarterback now in the draft. Do you go in the 3rd round and maybe grab a guy? When you sign up for Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, you're telling us what you want your season to be, which is will be just okay to really, really bad. And I think if you're a Browns fan, that's what you want to root for now, is you just want to be bad because you want to get in position next year to take a big swing and grab one of those guys coming out. But
what if you pick a rookie, Matty, and you don't have to play him?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe you do that in the 3rd round. Maybe you do that in the 3rd round this weekend, 4th round, you grab a guy and hope that you get something that sticks, but they still have the same issue that they had waking up yesterday, and it's a lack of offensive juice. And so with one of those first 2 picks today, I think it should be a weapon. After that, if it's a offensive lineman, running back, tight end, wide receiver, to me, I think they got to make some noise there this evening.
It seems right. I think it would be very Browns, though, to say, well, we won what we needed to win, and now we have our pick at quarterback in the 2nd round, and we can take one of the sliders or even one of the guys, because now they can be a project. We don't feel like we've got to, but if he does hit, then we're good. This would be very Browns tonight to take Jalen Milroe.
At 33?
Yes. It'd be very like them to say, well, the league told us that Shadour's not a franchise player. He doesn't have franchise traits. So once Pittsburgh passed on him, a team in our own division that's quarterback needy, then maybe they're thinking what everyone's thinking, that while he's very good, we won't be able to count on him to carry our football team at quarterback. Whatever, maybe he'll prove people wrong. He certainly has talked about it, and this certainly will add fuel to that. Or the Browns do practice what they preach and continue to do it. Make the football team better. Don't reach for a quarterback here. You didn't reach for one before. They could have tried to get back in the 1st round if they loved a quarterback. It would be counterintuitive that if you loved a quarterback that you were going to pick at 33, that you wouldn't chance that. You'd want to control him on the 5th year, so you'd want to get him in the 1st round. And you could have gone back into the back of that 1st round and gotten your quarterback. Since they didn't do it, I'm with you. I'd lean now into take the best weapons available that you'll have for years to come. Don't reach on the quarterback project and just go all in on a semi-tank rebuild and then hopefully get your guy next year. They'll have enough ammunition to do it. The only issue next year is, and I haven't really looked at all of the mocks for next year as far as the quarterbacks go, would they be able to have enough to get exactly the guy they want next year? Or would they just settle on a guy that's one of the better ones?
Well, that's why I think if you're a Browns fan on your side of things, you hope you take care of the majority of the bad yourself, right? Like you want to be in that, hey, we won 3-4 games. Yeah. Like that's where you want to be on your own. That way you don't have to try to rely on somebody else to one, want to move out of the spot, or 2, feel like you have to compete with somebody else who I think now the Rams are that team that they'll be competing with, that they could offer something better that you offer and jump ahead of you to grab the guy that you like.
The Buckeye positions last night, they all went to pretty good situations. I'm not trying to just say that. I really do believe it. Emeka to Baker, not knowing what Godwin's going to be with that ankle. Donovan to my Vikes. Great pick. Lean into protecting JJ. Tyleek to an awesome defense with the Lions, adding to that. And Simmons to the Chiefs in that room, hopefully proving himself with Mahomes and company. Like all four of them really did land in good spots.
They're in winning now situations, right? Tampa's been a team for Emeka that's been in the playoff mix the last couple of years. We know what Detroit has been doing the last few years, and they've been, taking swings on defense in the draft. And then you mentioned where your guy is now and Donovan Jackson, and we talked about it. What he showed the league down the stretch run on the way to a natty, his versatility, like, oh, yeah, I could slide out the left tackle, and I got this. You don't have to worry about, Will Howard getting crushed or cracked from behind on the blind side. That had to be so appealing. So he now goes into a great offensive system, and hopefully, for the Vikes' sake, that J.J. McCarthy can be a guy and they can hit the ground running. But Josh Simmons is in a great situation, but he's now also in the most pressure-packed situation for me of the Buckeyes that got drafted in the first round, just because of what we know are the expectations for the Kansas City Chiefs. And that's, we're hosting the AFC Championship game and we're going to the Super Bowl. And Andy Reid, I know after the draft, said that he does believe that Josh Simmons will be ready to go for training camp. So that was out there, that some people were scared off of the medicals because of that unfortunate injury he had last year. But the Kansas City Chiefs said, we're good. We're signing off on it. There was thought out there that he could have been the first tackle off the board if he were 100% healthy. So this may be the steal of all steals for arguably the best team in the league right now in Kansas City. But for Josh, he, to me, is now going into, oh, yeah, I got to get going right away because I got to protect the blind side of the best quarterback in the sport.
All right, we're going to come back in 2 minutes, and we'll have our friend Ryan Roberts, NFL draft analyst, A to Z Sports, try to get some insight into pick 33. Browns control it now at the top of the second round, and we'll come up with that answer next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony sometimes likes to sit and stare at his bundle of Emmy Awards. Unfortunately, it's through the glass of the pawn shop. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, exciting stuff. The Browns doing what they did last night and then controlling the top of this. Second round, our friend Ryan Roberts, NFL draft college football analyst, A to Z Sports, covering the NFL. And he's with us now on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Ryan, welcome.
Thank you, guys. How's everybody doing over there?
Doing great. Let's get right to it. what should the Browns do here at 33? I feel like it's appropriate if they're going to play this rebuild / best player available mindset that they either go weapon here and because they passed on Travis Hunter. So, maybe try to find the receiving weapon here and maybe even they could go Higgins and Henderson. They could go elsewhere, or they could maybe do what Browns fans might think they could do and now go for the value quarterback player at the top of the draft. What do you think they will do and should do?
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating. I mean, I would even throw in, offensive tackle potentially, right? I mean, I know there's still a need at left tackle. So it's an extremely interesting dilemma because I feel like that's the very nuanced conversation between team building as far as, we're building from the inside out or we're going to hopefully build around a quarterback, but also Cleveland needs a long-term answer quarterback, right? So, it's a very unique situation. I personally would be okay with just going Shedeur Sanders or Jalen Milroe here because I really think that in the beginning of the second round, ultimately, and you never want to miss, but if you do miss in a couple years, no one's going to hyper-focus on the second-round quarterback you missed on, man. It happens, right? Will Levis just missed a couple years ago in the draft, and you got Cam Ward, and now Tennessee feels a lot better about their future. So I would be totally okay with going quarterback. I think there's value to maybe a Luther Burden here. I mean, the board's actually pretty good for you. I mean, it really is. I know some Browns fans, I'm sure, are a little frustrated with the trade back, but you got a really quality player, obviously, with Mason Graham in that first round, and I think that you could take a Luther Burden, you could take a Shedeur Sanders, a Jalen Milroe, or you even could go like an Ariante Ursery out of Minnesota if you want to try to find your left tackle of the future. For me personally, though, I think an early second-round quarterback conversation is pretty unique and something I'd be very interested in because, again, I just think it's a low-risk value at this point, potentially.
So let's go down to Cincinnati and get your thoughts on their first-round pick. I know a couple of my friends are Bengal fans, and they're watching last night as Shamar Stewart is the pick, and they're hearing, the analysts say, well, he's only had X amount of sacks over the last few years, and they're like, what are we doing? So talk about Shamar Stewart, the prospect that he is, and what you think his fit could be like down there in the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, he's a player that it's kind of similar to Trayvon Walker with Jacksonville early in his career that you're just going to have to be patient with. And I think that, unfortunately, some Bengal fans after year one are going to be kind of a little bit disappointed in it because, I mean, I can't imagine he goes from a low productive player to a high productive player in one season, right? He's a guy that needs a lot of work from hand placement, just general hand play, pass rush plan, all those types of things. This is more a year 2, year 3 type of breakout for me, ultimately. I do think if you're patient and you have a good coaching staff, I like Al Golden as the new defensive coordinator. I know he's got his work cut out for him with the lack of talent on the defense side of the ball with the Bengals right now, but I think at 17, I'm okay with the risk, right? If someone would have taken him in the top 10, I think that is way too rich personally, but I'm okay with the swing at 17 because it was not a top-heavy draft in general. Any player that you were going to get at 17 was more of a early second-round value in most cases and a guy that's going to be a little bit of a gamble. So I'm okay with it. I think they had some interest in a Mike Green out of Marshall that fell to the second round due to obviously the allegations in the past. So I just think that they were just most comfortable, most likely with Shamar Stewart, who I've heard is a really good person, obviously incredibly toolsy, and you just hope that coaching staff is patient with him and they get the best out of him. If they do, he has a chance to be a really good player, but obviously there's a lot of boom and bust potential there as well.
First of all, did you like what the Browns did at the top with the trade? And then also, once they did it and took Mason Graham, who, by the way, 2-time first-team All-Big Ten, I get it, had great games against Ohio State. I was hoping they would trade back again and really lean in and try to lure the Bears up to 5 to take Genty, which I thought they were going to do anyway with the Jags. I did not see the Jags going up. I saw the Jags coming down. They didn't. But where were you on the passing of Travis Hunter and then getting that haul, which looks very good for a team like the Browns, but then going ahead and making that pick and taking Mason Graham with it?
So initially, I did not like the move, to be honest with you. At first, I was just like, you take one of the 2 true elite players in this class. That was my thought process. And the minute that you trade back, I'm like, I just think you had a chance for a very unique player, obviously, there at number 2, and a guy that could potentially transform not only you could transform either side of the football that you potentially want him to play him on, right? Honestly, I know that, if he was drafted to Cleveland number 2, he's probably more than likely playing wide receiver from a more full-time scope. But, he had just special upside. But the minute you traded back, I was very interested to see what the number 5 overall pick was just in general. Jancy would have been interesting because I know the Browns have a huge hole at running back now with, Nick Chubb gone. But I really do think that Mason Graham there is it made me a lot happier with the selection, for the lack of better analysis. For me, Mason Graham was the number 3 overall player on my board in this class. And so he's not quite the elite prospect that a Travis Hunter is, but I think he's a really good player. And honestly, I think that Cleveland just need a little bit more substance, man. When they've been good, it's been good offensive line play. And then obviously you've had Myles Garrett, who's been a terror for many years. And I really do think that steering into the strengths on the trenches is a good investment at that point. So Mason Graham plus the extra value, the extra draft capital you got for him, I'm okay with it as long as, and here's the caveat, you got to hit a couple home runs on day 2 now, right? You have to find value potentially in this spot. If you find value, I'm very okay with the trade back when I kind of took a longer look at it and kind of slept on it a little bit.
We had 4 Buckeyes come off the board in the first round. Emeka goes to Tampa. We had Donovan Jackson go to the Minnesota Vikings, Tyreek Williams to Detroit, and then Josh Simmons rounds out the first round with the Kansas City Chiefs. Of the 4 Buckeyes that got selected last night, which one of those guys do you think stumbled into a very, very good situation for them?
It's got to be Josh Simmons, right? I love the fit with Tyreek in Detroit as well because I think he's going to free up, Aiden Hutchinson and Ali McNeil and those guys. But, the Chiefs were in a desperate need for a left tackle coming into the draft. And at pick 31 initially, you're like, I don't know, because there was an offensive line run to start things. So you're like, I don't know if there's going to be a left tackle available for you that can come in and play. And there's a massive hole in that team. But they were patient. They traded back one spot, obviously, with the Eagles, who wanted to come up and get Jahad Campbell, make sure they got their guy. But Josh Simmons, in my opinion, if healthy, which I know, again, he's coming back from the injury, so we have to use that with a little bit of grain of salt. But if he is healthy, I think he's the best blindside protector in the class. I think he has the most upside of any left tackle in this group, and you got him at pick 32. So as long as he's healthy, I think that is one of the biggest I think it is the biggest value so far in this class. I think if he was fully healthy all year, didn't have the patella and some of those whispers behind him, that he may have been a top 10 pick. It was very likely that could have happened. So you got him at pick 32. It's just so funny. We always hyper-focus on, why are the Ravens always so good? Why are the Eagles always so good? Why are the Chiefs always so good? It's because they let value fall into their lap and they don't overthink it ultimately, right? So I think Josh Simmons, we're going to see him starting at left tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs sometime this season, and I just think that was a perfect fit and an ideal scenario for the Kansas City Chiefs there.
Ryan Roberts with us, NFL Draft, college football analyst, A to Z Sports with us here on Rothman and Ice. All right, let's put our prediction hat on here and figure out what the Brownies are going to do here at the top of the second round. Quarterback, running back, receiver, running back, receiver, offensive lineman. You get a chance to predict it here. Hit the daily double for us.
Sounds good. Yeah, I think, again, kind of working back to the initial question, I think quarterback is really interesting. There's part of me that says that they might prefer Jalen Milroe at the top than Shedeur Sanders, because I think the second round gamble conversation is kind of interesting, because then you're just not going to remember if a second round quarterback doesn't pan out ultimately. There's just been so many that have failed. So I'm going to predict Jalen Milroe right there at the top, and then at pick 36, I'm going to say it's Luther Burden. I think that Tennessee Titans have the 35th pick, but I think that they are not going to be in on Luther Burden if he's on the board. So I say you get your quarterback and a potential weapon at wide receiver, and you pass on maybe a pass rusher or offensive tackle at the top of the second.
Before we let you go, got to get your thoughts on what the New York Giants did coming back into the first round and grabbing Jackson Dart after getting Abdul Carter at 3. The haul for the New York Giants, how would you grade that?
Oh, I hated it, to be honest. I love the Abdul Carter pick because I think you got an elite player there at pick 3, even though it's not the biggest name on your roster, but I'm a big fan of best player available. The Jackson Dart thing, I just don't understand. One, I'm lower on Jackson Dart than a lot of people, just first and foremost, so I didn't love the value there at 25. But I'm just so confused on the ideology of the New York Giants. They spent all offseason trying to go veteran quarterback route with Russell Wilson, with Jameis Winston, because Brian Daboll and Joe Shane are on the hot seat. They might not have another season after this unless they have a very improved season. So I'm like, okay, they're going veteran quarterback route. They're going to load up in the draft. They're going to try to win 8+ games, hopefully, and preserve their jobs. And then you mortgage capital to go back into the first round. I know it wasn't a crazy amount of capital, but you still mortgage capital to go back in the first round for a quarterback that in an ideal scenario to keep your job, you're not going to see in 2025. And then the worst case scenario is you lose your jobs, and the next coach that comes in now has to deal with a first-round quarterback that they didn't pick. I just didn't get the ideology. I think it's very just kind of backwards from a team building perspective, from the short-term perspective, and I just don't think it's advantageous for Jackson Dart. So I honestly, that was my least favorite pick in the first round. I really thought that it was a very puzzling decision.
I get it. Great insight, man. Love the predictions as well, and we'll reach out soon. Ryan, thanks, man. Enjoy the rest.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great day.
You too. He covers the NFL draft for A to Z Sports on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. But they're out that Jalen Milroe. He co-signed it. Project second rounder. Could be the man.
I would not be upset at all if that's the lottery ticket that they hope cashes in because of what he is as a talent. The dude has something you can't teach. The other stuff you think you can teach and help him hone that in. And if you do hone that in, you could have a guy that comes out of the tunnel every Sunday that just frightens defenses to death.
The stuff you can't teach and the stuff you can't coach. And the stuff you can't coach out of him. Could be the guy.
It's real.
By the way, we have passes to the Pro Football Hall of Fame to give out today, so keep listening closely. Correct? That was on your...
Reds.
Oh, just Reds?
Just Reds.
Why did I see Pro Football Hall of Fame passes on your sheet?
Check it again.
Did you edit it in the last 45 minutes?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, folks. I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver.
You just go somewhere else.
I'm usually the opposite.
So we have Reds tickets to give away. Just
so
we're
we have a pair of
clear.
Reds tickets.
There we go.
Outstanding. So listen closely for that. We'll hit overs and unders into the weekend next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through April 30th, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-THIRD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down per $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restricted supply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bob Masheter from Dick Masheter Ford. Thank you to all of Central Ohio as we head towards 60 years of doing business in the Buckeye State. Dad opened up in 1967 simply trying to offer a better way to buy a car, and we've been working ever since to serve our neighbors. We have served you through wars, recessions, and even a Chinese virus. Here is to serving you and your kids and your grandkids for the next 60 years, except on Sundays when we're closed, because it's the right thing to do. Still 24/7 at masheterford.net. Thanks.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience Gold Helmet to Gold Jacket now through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/goldjacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/goldjacket.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
It's one of the best weeks news of the year. Draft Week. Draft Week. Draft Week on the Fan is
presented by the Crown Automotive Group in Dublin.
The Fan. Ohio's sports destination.
A SoFi personal loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Rothman and Ice presents Overs and Unders.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, Cannon, fire away.
Alrighty, hold on. I got a lot of tabs here on the computer. All right, here we go.
A lot of pots on that stove boiling over, man.
Safe for work tabs over there?
Burnt.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
1,000%. Don't need that incognito browser. All right. Well, you haven't heard of the incognito browser? You need
like I said yesterday, I'm sure you've heard and done many things that I haven't. But go ahead.
All right. So we had 4 Buckeyes drafted last night.
Okay.
How many Buckeyes are we going to have in round 2? The over-under is 3.5. And just to get your brain juices flowing a little bit,
I feel like I know the 3.
Let me put some names in your head. JTT's an option. Travion's an option.
He's first.
Sawyer's an option. And then possibly Quinshawn and Will Howard. 3.5.
Ooh. In the second round?
Second round.
I'm going to take
take
the under on 3.5 in the second round, and I'm going to go Travion, Quinshawn, and JT.
You think Sawyer falls around 3?
I think he's, well, how many picks? So barely. Barely. He could squeeze in. I mean, that's the beauty of this, is that he could easily be swapped.
Yeah, the under feels appropriate.
I'm going to go 3.
I feel really good about the backs.
Backs are going.
We had how many backs go in the first round yesterday? Omarion Hampton and obviously Ashton Genty, and that was it, correct? For the running backs, yeah. So that was it for the running backs last night. I think we'll get
the teams that wanted them, that I thought may do it in the first round.
Yeah,
the Bears going up to get Genty. They didn't get their guy, so why wouldn't the Bears take one? Were they 39?
The Bears are picking 41 and 39. Yes.
So why wouldn't they take a back there?
Take both of them.
Yeah, I'm going
the same team.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to go under as well.
Hey, they love playing together.
Listen, I thought this was... Maddie knows. I'm the one that started Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara in fantasy.
Oh, really?
Had them both, started them both.
Yeah.
Never knew who was going to score the touchdown, didn't care. Had them both.
They were both good.
Worked out great that 1 year.
No doubt. I'm going to go with the under as well. Travion Quinshawn. But I'm going to wave the flag for my pick North brethren. I think it'll be Jack Sawyer. With the end of the season.
Instead of JT?
That he had. Yeah.
Okay.
Just some pick North love out there, but I'll roll with you on the under as well.
Shedeur Sanders draft slot over under 35.5. Now, let's think about this one. The Browns are at 33.
Yep.
2 teams that do not need quarterbacks. C.J. Stroud's Texans and now Cam Ward's Titans. They are 34 and 35. The Browns are right there again at 36. So I'm setting it at 35.5.
So we'd have to go...
Going over.
I'm going over as well, because I don't feel if the Browns are going to be consistent, although we are in the second round now, and Ryan Roberts told us, this is where you don't have to have egg on your face if you pick the wrong guy. Mm-hmm. That's why I threw out Milroe instead of Sanders, because why do I need a floor quarterback in second round instead of the ceiling quarterback, potential basement quarterback I'd rather go to the extremes.
It feels like loose cannon that 40 tonight, where New Orleans is picking, could be a landing spot for Shedeur. There's just been a lot of Browns.
Or somebody else.
Maybe, right?
Tyler Shuck's going to be there.
He will. But I just think there's been a lot of Jalen Milroe Browns connection out there because of the Tommy Rees stuff. The Brown staff was coaching him at the Senior Bowl, that being Jalen Milroe. So they've been doing their homework on him. So I'm going to go over for Shedeur and the number that you laid out.
Over as well.
All right. How about QBs drafted at round 2? Now, the big stat that was floating around on all the draft shows last night was, well, now that Shedeur is not there, there's only been one second-round quarterback in the past 3 years, but a little bit of a unique season. So I'm setting it at 2.5 round 2 quarterbacks over under. And let me just put some names in your head again, because Shedeur is there. You guys mentioned Shuck and Milroe. Perhaps Kyle McCord or Will Howard, something crazy happens. 2.5 round 2 quarterbacks.
2.5 round 2s. So that gets us all the way to pick 64.
Yeah. It's round 3 is where they start adding stuff.
I'm going to go over because I think a team like the Rams will take a swing. I think the Browns will take a swing. And I think the Saints are going to do that as well. And so 3 teams for me that I believe will draft a quarterback in round 2. So that's going to put me at the over.
Give me those teams again.
So for me, it's the Browns, the Rams, and the Saints.
Okay.
Potentially all taking swings on.
I like the Browns, Saints, Rams.
Is there anybody else?
What about the Jets, knowing that they have Fields just for a prove-it deal?
I don't think they will.
All right, so I'm with you on those 3.
I don't think they will, AR. What about...
And the Steelers come back in the 3rd round, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'm going to go over.
2.5?
Yeah, I'm going over.
2.5.
Over. I think all 3. I think 3 go.
All right, a lot of agreement. That means I'm doing a bad job. A little bit of double-barreled action with baseball. How about the Reds tonight in Colorado? The over-under in Colorado, weirdly single digits, 9.5. Perhaps Jensen Lewis may have some thoughts on this when he joins us later in the show. 9.5, Cincy, Colorado.
Trying to see what the pitching matchup is for you tonight out there.
Is it Hunter?
No, it's Abbott.
And Kyle Freeland.
Yeah. And you put the over-under at what?
9.5.
It's 9.5. Suspiciously low.
That is a good number. 9.5. I'm going to take the over.
Okay, I'm going to go under on this. I don't feel comfortable ever picking unders out there. It's probably not smart of me to do.
That's the only reason I did it.
Because the ball just flies out of there. But I'm going to go under on this one.
Need to play my golf out there.
All right, and then we got a baseball stadium that plays the exact opposite as Colorado, and that is going to be Dodger Stadium. Paul Skeens and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 2 of the best in the business on the mound in that one. The over-under is 7.5, which is low for baseball.
Under.
Yeah, there's a lot of swing and miss.
The Dodgers' pen has been trashy lately.
And the Pirates got a really good pen, actually. But our lineup
I'm going to say these starters do enough work.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take the under.
I could easily see Yamamoto go 6 in this thing. 6 innings in this game. Yeah, these no doubt, as you mentioned, 2 of the best. Yamamoto is just so crafty with what he does. And Paul Skeens is just, here it is. You can't hit it. It's 1 billion miles an hour. I'm going under.
You said both under?
Yep.
Got it.
How about give out the Reds tickets right now?
Sure.
What is the proper...
the proper
information.
Here you go.
That you would like to read.
Yeah, so you know which game you're going to. That's kind of important. All right, winner's going to get 2 tickets to see the Reds take on the St. Louis Cardinals. It's going to be Thursday, May 1st in Cincinnati. Reminder, you can get your tickets for this exciting matchup and all Reds action at reds.com/tickets. And keep in mind, when we give these away, you got to download the MLB Ballpark app. That's where the tickets will get transferred to. You know, maybe annoying if you've never done it before, but I've done it before. It's not that hard, and you just download the app. It gets transferred there, and then voila, is there, and you hold your thing up to the reader. It's not difficult.
It's so easy. A loose cannon can do it.
So easy.
You stealing the caveman.
A cannon could do it. How about that?
All right. So earlier today, 821-9710 is our number. I received a box in the mail from the Elegant Farmer. Name something that was in it. I opened it live on the air. If you can name an item that was in it, you'll get the tickets. We're back top of the hour here, and the Bengals and the lack of wow. Does it matter? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Anthony for Orthopedic One. I'm not invincible anymore. I never was, but I refuse to punt on things I still love to do. That's why over the past several years, when I've had things creep up, like back pain, shoulder issue, elbow problem, I've had it all, I've always chosen Orthopedic One. That's because Orthopedic One is Ohio's largest physician-owned orthopedic practice with 60 physicians in every specialty. Find a physician or location near you at orthopedic1.com. Orthopedic One. This is where you go to get better.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Yo, this is Flavor Flav, and I am coming at you with one of my flavor faves, Raisin Cane's. So when you're looking for flavor fast, order in a flash, online or on their app. Raisin Cane's. One love.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here from my friends at High Bank Distillery Co., located right here in Columbus. Introducing their newest product, 614 Vodka, Ohio's house vodka. Perfect to make a drink at home or try when you're out at your favorite local restaurant. Learn more at 614vodka.com.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Kia. Lease a new 2025 Kia K4, just $195 a month plus taxes and fees. Or choose low 1.9% financing for 60 months on a new 2025 Kia Sportage or Sorrento. Visit CoughlinKia.com.
Coughlin has the car for you.
1.9% for 60 months equals $18.37 per 1,000 with approved credit through Kia Motor Finance. 24-month lease, 10,000 miles per year, 20 cents per mile over. 2025 due. Excludes $250 dock fee, $400 disposition fee at lease end. No security deposit. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Evan Cohen here. Picking a place to build a life is a lot like selecting a draft pick. Make a decision that will set you up for long-term success. Pick Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, you'll find dynamic career opportunities, beautiful seasons, affordable living, and legendary weekends. From its high quality of life and great schools to its fine arts, culinary, and pro sports scenes, Wisconsin gives you so much to look forward to. That's why you should pick Wisconsin. Learn more about making Wisconsin your home. Visit pickwisconsin.com.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars, Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Round 1 of the NFL Draft in the books. Rounds 2 and 3 begin tonight with the Browns on the clock. Cleveland has the 1st and 4th picks when the draft resumes tonight. The Browns also have 2 more in the 3rd. The Bengals have the 17th pick of the 2nd round, number 49 overall, and 1 more in the 3rd tonight. You can hear it all over on ESPN Columbus beginning at 6. Also over on ESPN Columbus getting underway right now, the Buckeye baseball team taking on Rutgers. Matt Andrews has the call for you. The Guardians start a home series with the Boston Red Sox at 7:10 this evening. The Reds are in Colorado starting a series with the Rockies at 8:40. You can hear that right here on The Fan at 8:10. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give him a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Like trying to snap a picture of Bigfoot. Nobody has ever witnessed Maddie eating a carb. This is Rothman and Ice.
Second hour of the program. Pressure cooker this hour. Offensive Rookie of the Year odds. All sorts of good stuff. The other semi-lock yesterday, Maddie, was the Bengals going defense with their first pick. I wouldn't have been opposed to an offensive lineman, but because there was kind of a run on him a little bit, I'll have to bring up the order again. But, you know, most people that we talk to, and you kind of just could feel it watching the team and what they've done here in the offseason, you got to focus heavily on defense and upgrade that unit. 25th in the NFL last season in points allowed per game. And can you win a championship that way? I guess you could if you run into the right team, get a little help in the bracket. But I think you need to be complimentary to win a Super Bowl. I do. Mahomes can't control everything. We've seen that. The Eagles needed each side of the ball to maximize what they are. And so we thought the Bengals would do this. If they went an offensive route, then it was going to be interior offensive linemen with their first pick to help protect Joe Burrow because he is the franchise. So while I wasn't really surprised that they went defense, I was just semi-surprised with Shamar Stewart. I like everything about a football player at the highest level that's 6'6", 290. Is that what he is? Is that what he's listed at? I thought he was. And they're betting on that to translate into results. And then when he got picked, and you heard about the description and Mel talking about him, like, where are the sacks?
Yeah.
Like, where, if he's that big and strong, how come he can't get home? Now, I've said it before in the program, all sacks aren't created equal. You'd have to watch every last play to know if he failed in that area. And if he is explosive, and he is 6'5", 6'6", now I've got him listed here at 270, so I basically tacked 20 pounds on him that he didn't have. But I don't even know if that's his official weight, but I don't know where he is in his efficiency to rush the passer. And I thought this pick was not horribly strange, but it didn't come off as a wow. Now, what they did do was talk about like Donnell Hunter and the fact that he didn't have a lot of sacks coming out. Look at him now. So it can be done.
It's just not a long list of guys, right. that have done that. And I think that's the tough sell for some Bengal fans, which I understand, because you don't want, right, your team to take a first-round guy and then immediately the analysis is, well, you know, he's only had less than a handful of sacks over 3 years. Like that's not the stuff you want to hear. I would love to know if they had the opportunity to draft a Kenneth Grant, if they had the opportunity to draft a Walter Nolan, a defensive tackle who went right before them at 16 to Arizona, are those guys that they would have swung on. They had a chance to take a interior D lineman because Derek Harmon was still on the board. They passed on him, and he is now within the division because he's a Pittsburgh Steeler. And so you look at what this team has tried to identify the last few drafts. After the 2022 season, in the next draft, they go out and draft Myles Murphy, first-round pick. That has not worked out. And so that's kind of haunting them and has haunted them for a few years because that's a guy that they needed to go right now because of the window that they're in. And the same's going to be said for Shamar Stewart. So what this does is when you bet on a guy that has just the traits in-house, I think the Bengals are telling us with Al Golden, the defensive staff that we have, is that we believe in our lab, we can get him headed in the right direction. So it's a big we shall see type of pick for a team that I said it the other day. For the Bengals right now, this window that they're in, these type of picks have to have safe floors. At minimum, they have to have safe floors. If they're a bust, it has the potential to really hold them back from where they want to go because you're spending so much coin on offense, and I get it. Jamar, T. Higgins, dudes are absolute ballers. You attach them to Joe Burrow, your offense is going to be top 5, I think, for the next few years if those guys are healthy. But on defense, that has been what's held them back. And so now Shamar Stewart finds himself in a situation to where he's got so much on his plate. He's going to have so much on his plate because they need that.
That's right.
And that's without us even talking about, AR, the future of Trey Hendrickson. He may not even be in the picture in the upcoming years if they decide to move on from him. We don't know what's going to happen with that. So it's a massive gamble on a guy that just has not been very productive in a very important category in college. But that does not mean that he won't be a good player for them. It's just fingers crossed that this dude is a safe floor type of player because when you're in this window, they got to have it. Without that, the floor could fall out, and we could be talking about seasons like we were talking about last year to where the offense is elite, but the defense isn't doing their part.
Yeah, I'm with you. This seems like one of those where you can't come on the air and just say this is a horrible, crappy pick because he only has a sack and a half in his entire career, whatever it was. Because he is such an athlete, and you don't want to put it all in sacks and just say, well, if he didn't get home, he must not be a good player. But they had a heavy need there, like you said. We have no idea if they're going to pay Trey. Sam Hubbard just retired.
Yep.
This was one of those, and I'm with you also on, I would have liked them to grab, unfortunately, the board didn't fall that way. I think Kenneth Grant would have been great. He went to Miami, I think.
Yeah, he's a Dolphin down there in the 305.
He had a few sacks this year, and he's a 3-year starter at Michigan. Who else did you mention? You mentioned Walter Nolan.
Went right before them.
Yep.
At 16.
Yep. Guess what? 10.5 sacks at Ole Miss and A&M. So those guys were gone.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't think he's the pick. If one of those guys is there, I don't think he's the pick. But they weren't enough, or maybe people didn't want to trade out, and I don't think the Bengals were going up. So that's why I said in the beginning, like, it doesn't necessarily, because it doesn't wow us, it doesn't mean that it won't work out.
Correct.
It may. It's just one of those deals that I thought there were a couple other players that were better, unfortunately, and I don't know how they had their board ranked. Mm-hmm. They go out, walk out in the public today, tell the media, oh, no, he was our guy. Because why wouldn't you?
Of course.
No, and
right.
I've never crushed teams for doing that. I can't imagine, like, if they were, if all you got was honesty.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, we had this guy ranked about 3 or 4 players below the guys that, we just had to take him because he was the last guy. He was the guy on our board when everyone else was crossed off. But that's kind of where this stands for Cincinnati at 17.
I think the loose cannon's got some Al Golden sound for us.
Yeah, which one you want?
I want to hear the third one on the physical traits and what they see in Stewart. That third one you got.
Because he doesn't have many sacks, but he does have physical traits.
Let's hear that.
Not just, the 40 and the vertical and that kind of thing, but just how explosive he is, how powerful he is at the point of attack, his ability to anchor down and set it. And he gives you versatility. I mean, he could play a 9, he could play a 6, he could play a 5. He can go ahead and play a 4-eye if you want to move him down. So he gives you a chess piece that's really hard to find as a defensive end.
Positive stuff, not just headline stuff, real football stuff. And so I didn't expect him to not talk glowingly of him, but I thought there was some good football take in there. about this kid who they picked 17 overall. It's a big spot, 17 overall.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, those are the ones that you can't get away with. Oh, well, it didn't work out.
No. And they better hope that the loose cannon Steelers didn't hit on a guy in Derek Harmon a few picks after them on the D-line. That turns into a stud as well. And I know we'll get to the Steelers as well, but what this comes down to specifically for the defensive line room down there in the jungle is Myles Murphy, Joseph Asai, Shamar Stewart. Two of those guys got to be good players for them right now. There's just no other way to look at it. In that room specifically, they have to have two of those three be consistent playmakers for them week in and week out. Trey Hendrickson lines up. You know what you're going to get. It may not be 17 and a half sacks again, but I think he'll still be one of the elite pass rushers. I think he's got a couple years left in them. But Al Golden, the rest of that defensive staff, job number one is everybody else in that DN room, what can we get out of them? Because if they get some good things out of two of the three, then this is going to look all right. If Osai and Myles Murphy continue on the trajectory that they've been in, then I think this defensive line is going to be in trouble.
Yeah. You know what this reminds me of? You know, we just started talking about a guy in Shamar Stewart that the Bengals took that is so physically imposing and doesn't have the results. And it just makes you really appreciate that the sacking of a quarterback and the beating of an offensive lineman takes a lot more than you think with just physical strength and athleticism. It takes a go-to move. It takes a craft. That's why the sack artists are different. Yes, they can beat you around the edge with speed, you know, because you're faster than those offensive linemen. But some of these guys have go-to moves. Yes. And, you know, I was reading Shamar Stewart's scouting report, and I'll give you the perfect two lines of strength and weakness. And this is what's so puzzling. Carved from granite with a rare combo of size, length, and explosiveness, but very puzzling lack of career production relative to those traits. What do you do?
In other words, looks like Tarzan, plays like Jane.
Possibly. Well, I think I don't know if they went that far because, like I said, and I'm not denying what you're saying because it is a results-based business. But just because he didn't get the sack doesn't mean he's not an effective defensive player. You know, that's the other thing.
That's just us reading box scores.
Yeah, quarterbacks flinch, get rid of the ball early. How do I know that his pressures didn't lead to some great defensive plays?
That is all real. It's just 4.5 over 3 years.
You'd think you would have lucked into more.
It's a tough sell. That's all.
All right, we're going to come back into the pressure cooker. Speaking of, we'll find out who's going in this weekend. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
All the 10 TV people come over to our side of the building to take a deuce. That should tell you something about how we operate. The Fan.
It's a different world today than it was 30 years ago when I started Care Heating and Cooling. This is Mike Weens, now the retired founder of Care Heating and Cooling with my sons, Dennis and Ryan.
Dad, 30 years ago, you were the first to warn of companies using service technicians as salespeople, of abusing the trust that a service technician has. With the big conglomerates now buying companies all over Central Ohio, this has become the normal business model.
It's all about greed. The conglomerates know they can make a lot more money by incentivizing their technicians to sell air conditioners instead of fixing them. They train their techs to take advantage of a customer when they are the most vulnerable.
Dad, that is not how we were taught. In 2024, Care Heating and Cooling was awarded a BBB Torch Award for ethics and was named the Lennox Partner of the Year. You don't earn those awards by leaving cat toys behind.
Call Care Heating and Cooling at 1-800-COOLING or schedule an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com. When you need a company you can trust.
Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
It's the final days of Diamonds Direct's annual spring sale. This is your last chance to get an extra 20% off our already renowned prices. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off your purchase. But hurry, these savings end soon. And this weekend only, we're open Sunday to give you an extra day to shop our expanded selection of trending engagement ring settings, his and hers wedding bands, must-have fine jewelry, and more. Time is running out. 20% off, store-wide savings. Visit DiamondsDirect.com for details.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and, of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
The Buckeyes are national champions. And you listen to it all right here on The Fan. And next year when they do it again, it'll be here on The Fan. And the year after that, well, you know the drill. Always and forever, your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Are you in need of basic dental treatment but can't afford the cost? There may be a solution. Hi, I'm Dr. Hal Jeter, president of the Ohio Dental Association, and I'm excited to tell you about a program called Dental Options. Dental Options is a partnership between the Ohio Dental Association and the Ohio Department of Health in which qualifying patients can be paired with a dentist to receive discounted or even free dental care. Eligibility for the program is based on your financial situation. For more information or to apply, call 1-888-765-6789.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another round of showers and storms comes through this afternoon. Some heavy downpours are possible, so keep an eye on the 10 TV app and the radar before you head out the door. Temperatures in the mid-70s will drop to the 50s tonight as rain showers come to an end. We'll be clearing the skies slowly Saturday. Highs in the low 60s. Sunny and mid to upper 60s Sunday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Under Pressure.
Oh, the cooker. I was debating whether to throw the Steelers in here.
Okay.
But I do feel like...
Why? Because now it's the second round?
Well, no, now it feels like it's Aaron Rodgers or bust for this year. But you're right. It's possible they could rescue it here.
Because they don't have a pick in the second round.
Yeah.
They will not be on the clock at all in round 2. They will come back around real quick. Pick 83 in the third.
Yeah, they'd have to get back into it. So I feel like there's pressure, but because they are the Steelers, and they like to make the playoffs, and they don't like to tell their fans they're rebuilding. And they just went out and paid Metcalf a lot. Now, they haven't traded Pickens yet.
No, they have not. That may be, and that's something to monitor tonight. I think it's great that you bring that up because maybe that's a way that they can
get back in
a second round pick.
And then we can draft another idiot second round receiver.
So I do.
And I can extend the clip that we played yesterday.
Sorry. Got to live off Santonio Holmes, Lynn Swann, John Stallworth.
Hines Ward.
That's right.
AB.
So, and AB, right.
The good years.
AB was amazing.
Home run hitter, man.
Front flipping into the end zone against Cleveland.
I've said this on the air before, even before you got to the station.
Extension.
That hurt me.
Yeah.
He should have been celebrated as one of the great stories in all of sports a walk-on at Central Michigan. I think so. Really should have been celebrated, and he just ruined it. Just
lost his mind.
Just sports ruined him, the arrogance, the money, the fame, whatever it was, or maybe he was just wired to be that guy. But we should be... That's the shame of it, that his legacy is all the garbage.
Because I'm telling you, AR, as a Ravens fan, I'm sure Browns fans and Bengals fans feel what I'm about to say. When you had to face that guy twice a year, it was terrifying because he was just so electric. When he got the ball, the route running, everything was just so. He was a Hall of Fame talent. Like he really was. And then he was just always an unfortunate distraction. But you deal with it because he was so great. Like he wasn't good. He was great. He really was that type of guy that just week in and week out was just a dominant force.
Certain guys who live on talent have a very tough time adjusting to structure. And I think when talent's got you that far, and now you've got to be on time for meetings and practice, and you're being held accountable, and you've always leaned into the talent because it's got you so far.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of ruins you. And I think that's what happened with him, that he thought, just say thank you and be on your way. I'm the home run hitter. When I get it is what I can do with these hands. It's nothing about nothing more than that. But they require more at that level, especially if you're trying to be a team guy. But anyway, back to the Steelers. So I was either debating whether to put Shador in the pressure cooker or the whole Sanders family. Like they built that little nook, the legendary nook.
Shiloh's going in there too.
His logo is, I think, the S of Sanders, but it's a $.
Did you see?
So
you mentioned Shiloh. Did you see what Shiloh said? He was like, "Man, well, if you're sliding, where am I going to go?" So they were actually rolling with the punches pretty well last night.
So I'm gonna lean into Sanders, and he's probably gonna get picked here in the first 5-6 picks, and then he'll go in a lot of fuel, hopefully the right team. I think that, and we're going to talk about this a lot more at 2 o'clock. Mel Kiper was about to lose his mind last night, and I love Mel.
But you know why he was? Because Mel had him as his number one quarterback on the board.
Number one.
Yep.
And he just kept saying someone's going to get, and it just kept going. So
they played the Aaron Rodgers video.
Any perception that Shador is a product of Travis Hunter's greatness, winning the Heisman, was kind of quieted when you kind of watch the tape, that they were both. And then here's the other thing, and we talked about this. You retired his damn jersey, Dad. At Colorado, where there's a long list of dudes that have been disrespected now. You can't just walk in there and, even though he had production, retire his jersey. You can't do that, and you set him up for this, and now maybe this is the great humbling that actually turns him into the star that he believes he is. And he doesn't go into the league at number 2 or number 9. He goes in the second round or later, and now all of a sudden maybe you tap into something that was always there probably, but now it comes through a different light. And so Shador's in the cooker. The whole family's in the cooker.
You know who his daddy is?
Oh, that's right. You weren't ready.
Here we go.
Maddie had you
know
on
who my dad is?
I do. And I think he was part of the problem.
Did you see also last night at the legendary draft party that he was throwing? That
the legendary draft party where you didn't get drafted.
After the draft, he performed a song I think he's been cooking up. So he looked like he was in good spirits last night.
Like I'm saying, this could be something he hasn't felt in a long time, and it may do wonders for him.
It may lock him in. First candidates for me. I'm going with the former Buckeye offensive coordinator and his new running back. Give me Chip Kelly and Ashton Genty. The reason why I'm putting Ashton Genty on the pressure list is because I think if he is the running back that flops, that got drafted this high, the narrative will go right back to, well, we can't take running backs high anymore. I believe that he will be a good player. He's coming off the heels of a tremendous Saquon Barkley year that led to a Super Bowl for the Philadelphia Eagles. I truly believe that's part of the reason why a team like the Raiders and maybe a team like the Jaguars and some other teams were comfortable drafting him as high as he went yesterday as 6. And so for a team for the Raiders that does not have a bunch of playmakers on offense right now outside of Brock Bowers, Jacoby Myers has been a pretty good player for them. You bring in a new quarterback in Geno Smith and pay him right out of the gate and pair him with his old coach in Pete Carroll. Ashton Genty and Chip Kelly, for me, have a lot of pressure on them to make this pick not only work for them, but work for other running backs down the road in that position to where teams will feel comfortable if there is this type of talent taking him that high. I think he's going to look good in the black and silver out there in Vegas. He looked clean last night. He's a really short guy. Did you see, like, you know where the guys are putting on the hat in the mirror? It's like a montage going around where you can only see, like, his eyes because he's so short. Just the top of the hat in his eyes. But listen, he's got to go out there and ball and hold it down for the running backs of the future. So Ashton Genty and Chip Kelly, they're on the pressure list.
You know, I agree with that he is under pressure, but I think for a different reason for me, it's that team. He's up against it. So it's the pressure you're talking about. You're talking about a team that needs a quarterback, a running back, additional wide receivers, a better offensive line. Like, you needed all that. Cleaner streets, better schools, a good hockey team. Like, they just need so much.
Well, that's why there's pressure on him. He's got to go.
Absolutely. The Tampa Bay Lightning got hammered in Game 1. Blanked in Game 2 on their own ice by the Florida Panthers. 0-for-5 on the power play. That's a team that was 26% this season. That's top 5 power play. Jake Gensel, the big ad this year, moved on from Stamkos. Gave Gensel $60+ million. For that cash, I got to have more, Matty, than 0 shots on goal in 23 minutes of ice time. I got to have it. I'm not going to put it on their coach, John Cooper, because of the cups and getting to the cups and all that. He'll find a way. But Saturday afternoon and sunrise, that's must-win time for the Lightning.
Last one for me. I'm going with Michael Porter Jr. for the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets got their teeth kicked in last night by the Los Angeles Clippers. Final score of that one was 117-83. In the 3 games in this series so far, game number 1, he played 26 minutes, had 3 points. Game number 2, he played 33 minutes and had 15 points. And last night in 35 minutes, he was 2 of 9 from the field with 7 points. Jokic, Murray, those guys have been fine. He is supposed to be the third part of that big 3 out there in Denver. They're up against it against Kawhi and James Harden right now. So Michael Porter Jr. making a ton of money, former first-round pick, part of that championship team. He's got to find that old championship DNA or their season could be a wrap. So Michael Porter Jr., AR, he's on the pressure list.
Loose cannon. Who knew that the Elegant Farmer sent draft hat, draft koozie, and ball marker, which I discovered in there as well?
It was Nate in Kingston, Ohio. So we're going a little bit further outside of Columbus, which I like. I like getting the whole vantage point there, which appears to be in between Circleville and Chillicothe. So he's already down south. So now he just has to go a little bit west, and he'll get to Cincinnati. Nate in Kingston, congratulations.
There it is.
Way to go, Nate.
Thanks
Appreciate
for playing.
you, Nate.
And of
Kingston,
course,
Ohio. Tiny little town, right?
Yeah. And we went right back to the first caller. Wasn't listening. Just heard that, the phone lines are open. I'm in.
Trying to get in line.
Yeah. Wait, how many calls deep did you have to go?
I just did the second call.
Oh, second. Okay.
We love our
and you know what? I make fun of them, but I enjoy it too because you never know what you're going to get.
Listen, they get to talk to the loose cannon for free.
Exactly.
I mean, that's a bargain at any price.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I'm not a draw yet.
Our name's on the marquee.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that semi-flex?
Yet.
I'm not a draw yet.
He's a mess.
Right now, that's it. All right, we come back in 2 minutes. Offensive Rookie of the Year odds. How did those change? First round of the draft in the books. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible, overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
I can't believe they're moving the team to another city.
True, but you'll never forget all the joy they brought into your life.
Joy? They made the playoffs twice in 50 years.
Gosh, those 2 times were pretty great, weren't they?
How would I know? I wasn't even born yet.
Just think of all the free time you'll have on game days.
Those games were the highlight of my week.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Matty promises he'll continue to do the show even if he wins the lottery. If only we believed him. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Yeah, we've had that conversation before.
I promise I'll be here.
Talked me into some 3-day-a-week thing, and
I got you. I'm not just going to leave you if I hit the lottery. I will be here.
No, I would feel bad if you did.
Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I will be here in studio with you.
Why Fridays?
Because I want to be able to do a football Friday with you, get a lot of stuff going into the weekend. You know, on Fridays we talk to Brady Quinn during football season.
You're going to be a multi tens of millions, 100 millions, whatever.
But I can't,
you can talk to him anytime you want.
I can't give up on working with an Emmy Award winner and a guy that just self-proclaimed him as an attraction in the future. Like, I can't miss out on that.
I was going to say, please leave. I might become a draw if you leave. Might be a promotion.
Man. Cooling off.
No,
I hope that happens.
I got 3 days a week for you because I want to react to everything on Monday.
This is so wrong.
And I don't have a real reason why I would want to work Wednesday. So maybe this should turn into just Monday and Friday. Monday and Friday, I'll be here. 3 hours. I got.
Well, in the sports
when all
radio,
the news is live.
Well, in the sports radio biz, he did kind of hit it right, which is all the preview and all the reaction.
See where I'm at?
So he gets both. All that crap in the middle.
You guys got
to
it.
just get to the weekend, but the weekend's already old on this side and not close enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Listen, I hope we have this. I hope my dream would be that we actually have the result of this.
It'd be amazing.
Because I'm not buying any of it.
I'd fall to my knees after I cashed in on the lottery, and I'd definitely throw some cash your way.
No.
Because we got to get the furry-legged friends taken care of. I'd cash out all the family and the friends, and then after that, I'm just doing whatever I want and coming in here on Monday and Friday, kicking it with you, and just going.
Just that simple.
It'd be that simple.
I don't think it is. Player of the Year odds, offensive player of the year odds. You just talk about Ashton Genty, and then I countered and kind of ripped the Raiders for not having a team around this electric back. And whether they're just going to use him up and take all the tread off those tires and have nothing to show for it. I hope not. I really hope that would be nice. I mean, Ward and Hunter were the two top picks in the draft. But I'll say this. After those guys, do you guys feel like there was any other player that generated the level of hype that this guy did?
That being Genty?
And I look at this from reality and a fantasy standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
Is he the number one fantasy rookie across the board?
Right now.
Over Travis Hunter? Would you take Genty? You're on the clock. I force you to take a rookie in fantasy. So my thought is, and you listen, you go to McMillan.
Mm-hmm.
You could go with where Tyler Warren, where he went
to Indy. Colston Loveland went to Chicago.
It's still Genty because of the position.
So you know how I think about things, AR, when it comes to fantasy? Like, looking at their depth chart, does this player have a clean runway to one, let's say if you're a receiver, targets, or if you're a running back, touches? And for Travis Hunter, I won't be surprised if it's 1,100 yards, a handful of touchdowns in year number one. But my mind does go to how good Brian Thomas Jr. is. And so he's going to be fighting up against that because Brian Thomas Jr. is a rookie coming out of LSU, balled down there in Duval County. For the Raiders, I think when you draft a running back in the first round, you start cranking up the touches as high as possible right away because the tread on that tire is going to fade and fade and fade as the years go along. So I do think that Genty has the clearest pathway of the non-quarterbacks to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. So I can understand why he would be the favorite for a lot of books waking up this morning.
Yeah, he's going to get the stats. I really don't. I mean, Cam Ward would be my second pick. Travis Hunter would probably be third in my Rookie of the Year. If there was who would be the sleeper?
Jackson Dart, if he wins the job. Where his odds are now.
20,
where they will 25 to 1.
25 to 1.
But I don't think he's winning that job.
Matthew Golden?
Here's where with Golden, it's still young and crowded in that wide receiver room, with Dobbs, and I know Watson's always banged up, but
I like Christian Watson, though.
I do, too. I really do, too. And then you have Jaden Reed. He's going to be fighting, I think, for a lot of touches in Green Bay. And that was the first time they drafted a wide receiver in the first round in a long time.
So when we talked about that, I think it was earlier this week, I felt like when we talked about Ibuka, I had him going possibly to Green Bay. And I knew I was fighting against history there, that they hadn't taken a first-round receiver in 23 years or something like that. This kid's, you want to talk about can't coach speed. He's the guy. He's not big. He's kind of a little Antonio Brown in a way. And so I think the Packers have to love that pick, right? I mean, most Packer fans were pretty excited about that.
Yeah, because it's
4.29.
Right. And look, he's no doubt an electric guy. I just don't know if the numbers are going to follow just because of how much talent they already have there. Clearly, they're telling us they need more. I get that. But I just don't see Matthew Golden year one racking up a whole bunch of numbers to be the Offensive Rookie of the Year, especially over the quarterbacks.
We haven't had a running back win Offensive Rookie of the Year in a while since Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
Well, did he?
I think he did grab it. I think he did.
All right, so who would our options have been? Baker Mayfield, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson?
Well, Jaden won it last year, right? Or this year?
I assume so. I would have been shocked if it was somebody else.
Saquon was Offensive Rookie of the Year in 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a list?
I don't. I can find this for you. But so
I don't remember any other running back after that would have won one.
No, AR, you're right in saying that, because from Saquon down to last year, it was Kyler Murray, Justin Herbert, Jamar Chase, Garrett Wilson, C.J. Stroud, and then Jaden Daniels, as you mentioned. Prior to Saquon, you did have in 15, it was Todd Gurley. In 17, it was Alvin Kamara. And then you have to go back to Eddie Lacy in 2013.
Big fella.
So you've had some backs that have done it. But we've had a run now after 2018 of quarterbacks and receivers only.
And you know what? Zeke should have won it over Dak, too. He was way more important.
It's definitely a case to be made for that.
I'm worried about Genty's ability to have a great career there, but it's weird that a team that is so far away would take a running back. As good as he is.
Yeah.
It's just an odd, and I know the Raiders wanted him. I thought the Bears were going to go up and get him.
It's the identity of Pete Carroll. This is what he wants. He may see his next Marshawn Lynch. I think that's what he's telling us. Pete Carroll, that's what Seattle was a physically imposing team with the rushing attack. And that Seattle team didn't have great wide receivers. It was Doug Baldwin, and Lockett was really, really good. And so they have that over there in Brock Bowers. And Jacoby Myers has been a dude for them the last 2 years. I got to give him his flowers there. I get what you're saying, though. They don't have that Devontae Adams anymore. They don't have that. But I think because of the success Pete Carroll had with a star running back, to me, he's trying to recreate that over there in Las Vegas.
He's trying to recreate it with a rebuilding team at age 73. I hope he's still coaching when this actually works. Maybe in the NFL. No, I'm just being honest. By the way,
Rothman, your age is
probably the most active. No, he's probably the guy that you would never say that's how old he is.
Oh, him chomping that gum?
Yeah,
the energy he has?
He's going to keep chomping that gum.
They're running around at practice.
He really is.
So you see him coaching north of 76 years old?
If he wants to.
If he right. He may be that guy.
This is an honest question. Like, what's the fear with, like, all this old coach talk? Or, like, oh, he's old. Like, are you afraid that he's going to die on the job? Because, like, we do this a lot. With, like, oh, yeah, but he's a little bit old. Well, did he forget all of his football acumen?
It's not the knowledge. It's the dedication.
All right.
That's it. It's not the knowledge. It's the energy it takes. It's the travel. It's the early mornings, late nights. It's probably a lot of that that can't be that easy for a guy in his mid 70s, but maybe he's wired differently. You can tell. I mean, genetically, he's doesn't look 73.
There was some thoughts out there that the Raiders would grab a playmaker in the wide receiver realm. They passed on McMillan. Clearly, they passed on the 2 tight ends and Emeka on down. So their belief in-house is that at this position, with where we are right now, this kid's going to come in and be a star. They think he's going to be a star right out of the gate, and he may be that. Baby Chet just mentioned Zeke and what Zeke meant to the Cowboys right away. And that year one, I think it was, what year was that? 16. You get that type of impact over a 2 to 3 year window of time. You got to hope that in that window they hit on what you're talking about, AR. Is that you have a team that really figures this out quickly and becomes a contender, but that you're already up against it because of the division that you're in, right? You got to deal with Mahomes and company. I think Harbaugh and that crew will always throw out a respectable product. And so Geno Smith's your leader. Now you have what you think next to him in the backfield will be a rock-solid player for years to come.
I just think, Carroll inherited Lynch, right? It's Seattle.
In Seattle?
He wasn't there. He didn't pick him.
But I'm just saying that was the identity of their team. They weren't a high-flying, rip you apart through the air. Like, it was...
Not when he took over.
No, I'm just saying, even after that, like, that's who they were. Like, we weren't looking at Seattle, at least I wasn't, as a team that was going to kill you through we're running it down your throat, and Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor and Bobby
and our friend
and Bobby Wagner, and those guys were going to just kick your teeth.
Sean Alexander.
Yeah. Like those guys, I'm talking about the LOB, that team. After Sean Alexander. Okay. So that's the bet that they're making, AR. It's a risky one because we haven't seen this in a long time in the NFL.
We go to a Buckeye Bulletin next, and one got the call, and he was pretty darn excited. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Ever wonder where your go-to maintenance person gets the metal products they need to fix yours and everyone else's problems? The best in the business go to Metal Supermarkets for their wide variety of metal products and shapes to tackle projects from simple to complex. Metal Supermarkets is your source for all metals cut to size and ready fast. No minimum order with maximum service. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or at Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Buy now with pre-tariff pricing at Coughlin Chevrolet, Central Ohio's #1 Chevy dealer. Lease a new 25 Chevy Trax, $139 a month, or a new 2025 Silverado, just $288 a month at all 5 Coughlin Chevy locations and CoughlinChevrolet.com. Together, let's drive.
Trax is a 36-month lease with $39.99 due at signing. Silverado is a 24-month lease with $49.99 due. Both plus tax, title, and license. 10,000 miles per year, 25 cents per mile over. See dealer for details. Ends 4/30/25.
Rosati Windows, the best buying experience in the business.
I realize that people have options when choosing replacement windows, so I appreciate each and every customer. Before you make a decision, you owe it to yourself to see what makes us different. Our prices are competitive, we react quickly to service issues, and we control every decision that goes into building and installing our top quality products. We're just able to take better care of our customers.
Call Rosati Windows today, 777-4806.
I can't wait to meet her!
Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
This spring, celebrate the sparkle that she brings to your life with something that sparkles right back. Whether it's for Mother's Day, an anniversary, or just because, Diamond Cellar has the perfect gift for the women who mean the world to you. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Selma Road and at Easton Town Center.
Hey folks, Austin Ward here with an opportunity to lose 40 by the 4th. Yes, pounds, and why not? I dropped my first 40 in just 8 weeks. It was easy, and it will be easy for you, too. Take the medication-free and lasting approach. Awaken180weightloss.com.
Bishop and Friends.
If you travel across the country routinely on planes with 5 people, including 3 children, you do the Amazing Race every time you get on a plane.
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Cellar.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Columbus, Worthington, Air, and Bryant. Doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. And let's get after it with Emeka Egbuka. And this was a pretty emotional reaction, and why wouldn't it be? 19 overall to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not a team that we were targeting when we talked about him. It was Denver, it was Green Bay, and that's what makes the draft fun, is this one was a little unpredictable. And so he joins the conveyor belt at wide receiver U here at Ohio State with Marvin Harrison, who was number 4 last year, and JSN, who was number 20 the year before, and Garrett Wilson, who was number 10 and 22, with Olave, who went right after him at 11. And these are the guys who have been drafted in the first round in the last 3 years. No other school has had more than 2 first-round wide receivers in that span. Think about that for a second. And here's when, set this up for me. Was it the GM that made the call? And then they put on?
Yeah, then with the bowls, they've kind of passed the phone around a little bit.
Is it Jason Light?
It's Licht.
I believe it is
yeah.
Light. I believe it is.
I think he was on the call first. Here we go.
I'm doing great, man. How are you? Well, we're doing great. We're going to put your name in right now, and you're going to be a Buck. Let's go, man. I'm ready. I'm ready for it all, man. Let's get it. We're ready for you too, and you're going to go you're going from one great wide receiver room to another. So yes, sir, I am. We can't wait. We can't wait for everything that you are about. So you're going to make us a lot better. Yes, sir. Let's go. I appreciate you, man. Here's Coach Bowles.
Hey, I'm glad to have you down here. Look forward to you getting here.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
Hey, just do exactly what you did in college, and we'll all be fine. All right?
I'm ready.
You got it.
There you go.
Do exactly what you did in college, and we'll be all right.
Yeah, once he went outside, and then the rest of the family and friends knew that this is the call, not just a call. And, you know, sometimes you get that call like the GM's like, hey, this is GM of so-and-so team, or this is the coach. We're picking, here we have you on our board, just kind of get a better feeling.
Yeah.
But that was the call from Buckeye to Buccaneer.
I mean, how could you not feel good for Emeka and his family, hearing that emotion that not only came over Emeka, but the people in the background when they realize that the dream for him, the dream for that family has been fulfilled, right? And this is only the beginning of a new chapter, but that's what a lot of these guys put in the work for, is that moment right there, to get that call and saying, you're being selected to X team in the first round of the NFL draft. And so really cool for Emeka, especially when you zoom out from last night and what happened to him and think about where he was last year. And there was some thought that, hey, he may not even need to come back 2 years ago because of how good he was. Had to come back because of the injuries that season. Put in some really good work with Jeremiah Smith. The team as a whole obviously wins it all. And he finds himself, I think, in a very good situation because the quarterback in Baker Mayfield has found himself and really been a consistent player down there for them. But also now he goes into a room with a Hall of Famer, in my opinion, in Mike Evans, and gets to see how a Hall of Famer puts in the work day in and day out, and a contender. I know it's been a bad division, and that's probably the reason why, or part of the reason why, they've been in the playoffs, but they've handled their business and they found themselves in the postseason. And you could hear from Todd Bowles, like, just bring that down here from Columbus down to Tampa and he'll be just fine. So I think he's going to find himself in a situation to where he's going to make opportunities and make plays every single Sunday. So really happy for Emeka. And you just think about that wide receiver room at Ohio State from a couple years ago with, JSN and Jamison Williams and Garrett and Chris and Emeka and Marvin. Like, it's just crazy that all that talent was in one room, and now these guys are in the NFL and making some noise. So really happy for Emeka, and another feather in the cap for Coach Day and Coach Hartline.
Abuka, Donovan Jackson, 24th overall to my Vikes. Tyleik Williams, 28. Simmons, 32. So that's... You go back to 2016 when Ohio State had 5 go in the first round and then 5 in 06. So this is a robust draft for Ohio State that could only get better tonight. And I'm going to give you the odds, and that can probably end the Buckeye Bulletin, but it will continue with a Buckeye. So let's do a little Bet365 time.
Yes, sir, because at Bet365, folks, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. You can bet $5 right now, folks, and listen closely. You will get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses.
Maddie, the odds of pick 33 tonight overall. I'm going to give you the favorite, and then I'm going to give you a value player, too.
Okay.
I think you'll be surprised at the favorite.
And this is a player position.
Player
from the Himalayas. Player.
So number 33 overall.
Yeah.
The favorite is Travion.
You know who my dad is?
No.
Oh, no.
Travion.
I jumped the gun. My bad.
Travion, my wayward son.
He's the favorite right now for the Brownies.
At plus 125, which means your guy... Shedeur.
There we go. 3, 2, 1. You know who my dad
is second, plus 225. Here comes the value.
Stefanski.
Luther Burden III, 9-1. Jalen Milroe, 10-1. Or Tyler Shuck, 25-1.
I'm good on Tyler Shuck.
All right.
I'm good on that.
What if they got him? I agree. Listen, I said earlier, this would be counter to what they've just told us. We're building for 26.
Yes.
That's where the quarterback is. We're not going to do anything stupid here. We're going to get weapons. We're going to get best player available. We stockpile picks. We did great in the first round. We got a high-floor defensive stud. We're going to pair that with the pick we got with the fleecing we did of the Jags to move back a few spots. It would be counter to say, well, now let's get the quarterback. Like, it just would make me think like, okay, you're just drafting a quarterback because he's a project or he has traits, and it just wouldn't fall into it. So
they need right now talent on offense. I think more so than the quarterback. I'm going to go Travion at plus 125. I see the vision. They need running back help, I think, in a bad way. And I don't know if...
But would someone steal him from them?
Well, you can come back at, 35?
6?
36?
That's where I thought they'd get him. But who would not be there at 36? Travion or Luther Burden III? I think it's very close because I could see Houston taking Luther Burden
100%
at 34.
Good call on that.
100%.
And so
the Titans, I think, are good at receiver after bringing in Lockett.
Yeah, they'll go edge.
Calvin.
They'll go
I don't think they would take the receiver from you.
So I think
Traylon Burks. Exactly. Some respect on his name. He's top 5 according to Cam Ward.
All right, so we'll discuss this on the other side a little bit. But that's today's Bet365.
And real quick, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, the Shedeur Sanders sweepstakes has turned into a scratch-off. While it could still pay, how much will it and who will gamble on it? We'll talk about it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Montana, Bettis, Horning, and Brown, some of the greatest of all time, kicked off their careers in South Bend. You can celebrate Notre Dame football's impact on the professional game by visiting the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton to experience gold helmet to gold jacket now through April 27th. And register to win our grand prize at 971thefan.com/gold jacket. One winner will receive 2 tickets to the Hall of Fame game enshrinement ceremony presented by Novartis and the Hall of Fame Museum. That's 971thefan.com/gold jacket.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy. And from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is proud to be the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence Award for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
After 5 months of gray winter skies, we're all ready for beautiful spring color. It's only natural. Get to Oakland Nursery for an explosion of spring colors. Blooming shrubs, fragrant lilacs, hydrangeas, azaleas, and rhododendrons, and Central Ohio's largest selection of roses with thousands to choose from. Break out of winter's gray with spring's beautiful colors at Oakland Nursery and celebrate Oakland Nursery's 85 years of serving you. If you haven't been to Oakland Nursery, you simply haven't been to a nursery.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news and stats to placing bets in just a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code JOEQ to get started today. That's JOEQ, Joe Q. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got baseball going on right now over at Bill Davis Stadium as Ohio State is hosting Rutgers. Middle of the third, the Buckeyes trailed the Scarlet Knights 4-0. Rounds 2 and 3 of the NFL draft get underway later tonight in Green Bay. Cleveland on the clock with the first pick of the second round. The Browns currently hold picks 33, 36, 67, and 94. The Bengals with 2 picks tonight, numbers 49 and 81. You can listen to the draft on ESPN Columbus beginning at 6. The Guardians start a home series with the Boston Red Sox at 7:10 this evening. The Reds are in Colorado starting a series with the Rockies at 8:40. You can hear that one right here on The Fan at 8:10. 3 games in both the NBA and NHL playoffs tonight. This one's sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, and always online at rcdrv.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's health care.
All right, back at it. Rothman and Ice, final hour. J. Lou will jump on at 2:30. Toss a little chin music, talk draft as well. You know what was the most kind of like odd, like cringy part of the draft last night?
The schedule announcement.
Thank you for reading my mind.
Brilliant.
And it's not them
because they're good at the.
It's just the
Rutledge
fact.
Is great.
It's just the fact that they signed up to make an announcement of when the announcement would be, and they walk out. Laura Rutledge and Colleen Wolfe, who I didn't know worked for ESPN.
ESPN and NFL Network, they're joint
They're
for the
in bed
draft
together
stuff. Because they'll,
All right.
you know, how sometimes we'll have during college basketball and the NBA, like Billis will go to an NBA game, and then the guys will vice versa. You've had that throughout the week, where like Kyle Brandt from NFL Network was popping up on NFL Live. So yeah, it's an ESPN. NFL Network kind of marriage, if you will, for the draft.
And while they're both great personalities, I felt I was watching like the Happy Hands Club from Napoleon Dynamite. Like Colleen Wolfe was selling. So let me explain this correctly to people who don't know what I'm talking about. They build up the schedule announcement for the NFL, which is big. We buy into it. You buy into it. You want to know who they're playing, when they're playing, what day they're playing, and all that. The holidays, all that. Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night.
I can't wait
we
for
love
that
it.
show. Yeah.
But they made such a big deal out of making the announcement of when the announcement would be.
Yeah.
It was really weird. And I haven't even committed it to memory now. It's sometime in mid-May,
May
correct?
14th.
All right.
So it'll be a Wednesday.
So Colleen Wolfe is doing the miming. She's coming out with the hands and everything.
She was on it.
She was on it.
She was on it.
And Laura was playing a little more down the middle. But they really hyped this up. And she was like, you want to know? Almost like I really thought, being naive, that they were going to actually tell us something about the Monday nights or Sunday nights, like they were
maybe the
Thanksgiving,
opener, whatever.
They were going to give you something and then tease the rest for May whatever, and it was none of that. They basically came out and hyped the date. And you know why they did it? Because they had millions watching. There were 107,000 plus in Green Bay. That's the population. There were 250 in the town. It was busting at the seams last night.
What was going on inside Lambeau? Just a little watch party?
I think they opened it up.
Talk about that?
I heard Roger Goodell. Believe it or not, Matty, I watched a hair of the pregame. I don't know why. I was making something to eat and had it on.
Yeah.
And Raj was talking about that there are so many people that have never been to that iconic stadium. I haven't. You haven't.
No.
I don't think the Cannon has.
No, but my brother is moving to Milwaukee so soon.
Oh, you'll probably get to do that then.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
And so he said that with all these people coming to town, we wanted to kind of give a chance for those people to either sit in the stadium or watch it on the deal. And,
yeah, because there were so many people outside by the stage and all that. And then they kept doing, like, I'm assuming a drone shot or whatever that was over top of Lambeau Field. And it looked like an okay crowd, but I just didn't know why those people were there. So I don't know if they won something or whatever. But, yeah, the setting, the aesthetics of the draft, I thought looked pretty cool because it had a little bit of that just back like a backyard feel. Like they would zoom out and you'd see the homes right across the street. That's kind of the cool thing about Lambeau. But yeah, the draft, wherever it goes, it's always going to put up good numbers. And the reason why the NFL, I'm assuming, did what they did yesterday with the schedule rolled out is because they know it's going to generate some type of excitement. I know we'll have fun doing it that Wednesday, and we'll roll through the schedules. And the NFL just never sleeps. It is a now 12-month-a-year, 365-day production, and they're just trying to steal as many eyeballs and money as they can, and I completely understand that.
All right, you guys know the big highlights that, you know, Cam Ward goes number 1 to Tennessee, and the Jaguars pull a stunner by acquiring the number 2 pick from the Browns to move up to take Travis Hunter, the supposed unicorn. And let's hear that. Do you have the Schefter handy from Wednesday?
Travis Hunter?
Yeah, well, let me set this up. So we all believed, and I bought it hook, line, and sinker, even though I was kind of on it about a month. When Haslam said what he said, I kind of read that pretty well, that this is patience. You're going to have another bad year, and we're just going to get the quarterback later. We're going to build this. We're going to rebuild this the right way. We're going to dig ourselves out of the hole that I created. I created.
Said it was a
since I'm taking the public bullets, I would hope you'd at least give me a little more patience. That was my read on it. Whether that's true or not, who knows? And then I also thought that when you have a home run floor pick like this guy in a scene like Travis Hunter, if you don't want to take Abdul Carter, I'm okay with that. You have Garrett. I thought these guys like Travis Hunter come along once and forever. I didn't think they would pass on him. So it was a shock to me. And Schefter thought the same thing when we talked to him on Wednesday.
I think that if you're Andrew Berry, you don't come out at the press conference last week, compare Travis Hunter to Shohei Ohtani, and then turn around and trade the rights to go draft Shohei Ohtani. I don't think that plays real well in the city of Cleveland, nor around the league. Like, I'm not going to say, as a GM, this guy has a chance to be an unbelievable unicorn-type player, but we're going to trade the rights to him in a draft that's not considered deep in blue-chip prospects. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Well, guess what? The biggest insider in the game was fooled. And give it to Andrew Berry. Now, do I know for a fact that he wouldn't have taken Hunter regardless and wanted to get out of it no matter what? No. I think he was wowed by the deal. And why wouldn't he? Because they're building everything, Matty, to get the quarterback in 26. And when you look at the deal, because let's be honest, under Andrew Berry in the last 5 years, he hasn't drafted that many great players. Like he's passed on a lot of dudes. And they traded the 3 first-rounders for Watson. And they didn't draft Amon-Ra, and they didn't draft Wirfs, and they didn't draft Garrett Wilson or Olave or Jameson Williams, or like he's had shots. Jahmyr Gibbs, JSN, your guy Zay Flowers. Like he's had a chance to get some dudes,
no doubt,
and he hasn't done it. But I think he's being praised for this because of where they are as a franchise. Apparently, the patience that Haslam has given him. And the marching orders to get the quarterback in 26.
Here's what I don't know, and I don't know if you guys have heard this or not. Either last night and I missed it or at some point this morning into the afternoon. Who approached who first between both parties in Cleveland and Jacksonville? Because there was so much momentum prior to the draft that the Browns were locked in on Travis Hunter. The odds were telling us that. The insiders were telling us that. There's a lot of that out there. So my gut is telling me that at some point in time yesterday, Jacksonville called Cleveland first.
Yep.
And when Andrew Berry hung up the phone and said, Mr. Haslam, Jimmy, whatever he calls him, Baby Chestnut calling him Mr.
No, he's calling him Jimmy.
If that James. when that call ended,
pretty formal.
And Andrew says, Jimmy, they're offering us a 1 to get off this and some other stuff. I really think that changed their plans.
I don't think they even called him last night. I think this has been going on for a while. I think that he was just Andrew Berry was puffing up the Hunter thing because he knew this was in the works and maybe wanted to secretly get another team to think, well, maybe have them bid against each other. But I
just think whenever it happened, AR, when the Browns calculated in their minds that this quarterback draft class we don't love, next year's I'm assuming they really like, and we can get into the mix at the high end as far as the draft goes next year with an extra first-round pick, I think that really changed what they wanted to do. Because I truly believe that they wanted Travis Hunter. And they did, and then they had this shaking of the room, if you will, and they couldn't pass up on the deal.
This is when you look at trades and say they sound like a win-win because of what that team has right now, quarterback in Jacksonville, and trying to tap into that versus where Cleveland is right now. No one can deny. Sometimes you look at this as who won the trade. Well, inherently, the team that got the tangible product in Hunter won the trade because they got the diamond. But you have a chance to then handpick a few diamonds, perhaps, or maybe get your quarterback, which is more important than anything. And so we won't know this for a little while. And we may know it. We may know a little bit if Hunter doesn't live up to the hype right away. But yeah,
it's a couple years away thing. It's a couple years away thing for the Browns because it is. They just have to pray and hope that they're bad enough, which a lot of people think they will be if they keep this quarterback.
May not even have to pray
to be that way, right? And then hope that you can find a team next year that wants that other second-round pick from Jacksonville and will allow you to climb up over them. So it looks good right now, but they still have work to do to get in position to grab that guy. And next year's class, we really don't know what we're getting. There's a lot of people assuming that it's going to be Arch. There's a lot of people, that quarterback position is so fickle sometimes when it comes to knowing what you're going to get.
Bring Aller back to Northeast Ohio.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of that for sure from Browns fans.
Depending how he looks.
No doubt.
All right, so we'll come back. And we'll dip into the Shedeur situation. Where does he go now? And is Cleveland even in the mix? And when we did the odds on the favorite for this pick, we were doing it through the eyes of we think the Browns are going to make it. I'm wondering if we should read it the other way, that there's a reason this guy is the favorite, is that maybe another team may be trading with them.
And they'll move off the pick. Okay.
So we'll talk about that in moments. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
A lot has changed in 30 years, but we're still that old shoe that feels worn in and well-loved. And, well, we smell a little, but you've accepted that. The Fan.
Don't sweat it. Call Care Heating and Cooling, and we'll fix your air conditioner fast. 1-800-COOLING.
Colin Mann here for the ESPN Bet Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Watching big events are more fun at Hollywood Casino. For example, there's this draft thing coming up. Large men get selected to move to different cities and play football. That's all I'm legally allowed to say. Not only do you get the excitement of on-site wagering and camaraderie, there's prizes to win at the sportsbook. And sign up for Penn Play Rewards and play up to $500 on the house. Do it now. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company for your next vehicle.
This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic or our new Cheddar Blast flavor made with real cheddar cheese. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
Guys, what's up? It's Matty Ice, and I'm here with Wendy's. And if you're looking for your next sandwich love, check out the Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich. This sandwich really has me feeling the heat, and it's packed with bold Cajun flavors that add that perfect little kick. Plus, it's topped with crispy onions that give it a satisfying crunch in every single bite. And did I mention this is all on top of Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich? So if you love that, you have to get your hands on this Cajun Crunch Chicken Sandwich before it's gone. For that little extra kick, it's got to be Wendy's. Open until midnight or later.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick.
Saturday, former Buckeye Neil Shipley, fresh off his first win, will join us. Plus a major on the ladies' side this week. We'll chat with Golf Channel's Ron Syrak.
Cheetah Green with Skip Mosick. Saturday mornings at 9 on The Fan.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care. For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. We're looking at more chances for showers and storms as we head through this afternoon. A few could be a little gusty, but for the most part, just run-of-the-mill rain and some thunder, but watch out for heavy downpours. Highs in the mid-70s. We'll drop to the 50s tonight as rain showers eventually exit. Cooler tomorrow and clearing. Highs in the low 60s. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Bet365 time, Matty.
Yes, sir, brother, because at Bet365, folks, we don't do ordinary. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. If you're a new customer, listen closely because they got a very cool deal cooking up for you over at Bet365. You bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets, whether your bet wins or loses. So make sure you download the Bet365 app today. Baby Chet earlier mentioned the Cincinnati Reds are out there in the Rocky Mountains, taking on the Colorado Rockies. Give me my big cousin. Give me Austin Hayes to hit an anytime dinger tonight, plus 425. Austin Hayes home run.
All right, so the odds have changed slightly.
Okay.
Travion Henderson is still the favorite to go with the first pick of the second round at 33. And now, certainly he could go to the Browns. But remember, the combo platter that we all talked about, or I talked about having, was you take Travis Hunter at 2, and then you trade back in the late in the first round, and you get Shedeur Sanders. That was a while ago. Now, one guy they're not getting, they had a chance to get in Hunter, and I don't think they're going to take Shedeur because that would kind of go against my theory that those were the two guys they wanted the entire time. And I do feel like the Browns at 33 is now in play because they already have a pick at 36. If you're the Saints and you want the quarterback now, you want Shedeur now.
Mm-hmm.
People thought you were taking him at 9.
Right.
What if you get him at 33? Then you feel like there's value there. So Browns already have 36.
Yep.
The Saints are at 40. They probably can't risk it if they really want him. And then you start offering up another pick, a third to move up, and the Browns are already sitting there at 36, so they have a pick, and that would be one I would look at. But the odds have changed now. Henderson is still the favorite, but the odds have dropped a little bit on Shedeur, a little bit on Luther Burden. Remember when 2 segments ago I said I would bet him at 9-1? Snooze, you lose. He's plus 5.5 now.
Luther is
550. Yeah.
Luther Vandross.
Oh, he's good.
So where's Travion now?
What's he up to?
Oh, let's see. We got to pour.
Am I right about that?
I think so.
Yeah,
I think we got to
Okay.
pour one out for Luther.
Oh yeah, I was right. All right.
Pour one out for Unc.
One
Where's
shining moment.
Where's Travion's juice now for 33? You mentioned Luther's now plus
minus 105.
And it was
like
minus
basically-
125 a
No,
couple
it was
segments.
plus
Oh, it
125.
was plus one. So
now
this
he's
is
less than even money.
Mm-hmm. So the question is,
who wants him besides Cleveland? If Cleveland may take him there. I'm only bringing up the trade possibility because the quarterbacks are sitting there, and Cleveland might think they can get Henderson at 36. Now, they wouldn't get Burden, I don't think. I have Burden going 34 to CJ.
they're good at running back. I think they probably think Mixon's got another year left.
Trade
for some good ball.
33 as long as that team isn't taking Travion. And then grab him at 36.
Mm-hmm. You might be on to something. Who would that team be?
But that doesn't make sense, Maddie, because Vegas usually knows.
Correct.
And they've got Travion as the favorite. So that I'm more likely to think the Browns stick and pick and take him.
I could see them possibly doing business with the Bears. The Bears are picking 39th and at 41.
They
there
took
was some
Colston Loveland, which Ben Johnson loves.
There was some Genty stuff out there for them throughout the process that they liked him. And so with their 2 second-round picks fairly early in this thing, maybe you call Andrew Berry and say,
don't wait to 39.
Right.
We want him at 33. We don't want to take a chance on not getting him.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears are a team that pops up there. Maybe even the Cowboys, too, at 44. To where they try to get up to 33 and grab Travion Henderson because they need offensive help too. But the Browns, if they decided to stay there at 33 and take Travion Henderson, I have no issue with that because they need some home run hitters on offense. They really do. And we know Travion not only brings that, but brings so many other good things. And probably the most important thing is the protection of your quarterback with blitz pickup, which Travion was awesome at this year.
The top of day 2 is so key. You control everything. Yeah. The draft has fallen now in round 1. Some teams gambled and didn't take their guy. Now their guy falls in the second round. And now Cleveland is sitting in the catbird seat saying, come on up, everybody. Who do you want? We're going to get our guy at 36 if you're not going to take him. And we'll make sure of that.
Are we sure the Titans would pass on Travion Henderson?
Not sure about it. I feel like they'd probably go edge there, but you're right. I mean, nobody knows anything. So.
Are they still cooking up the Tony Pollard experience over there?
Oh, man.
Who's the other guy I'm forgetting?
Tajay Sharp?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, they need a little bit more. So I would be
Where are they picking?
35.
35.
So I'd be a little worried about that if I were the Browns and I traded down with the Bears and took one of their seconds, but I was still at 36.
Did Mike Green go, the kid from Marshall?
No, he didn't. There's some off-the-field character stuff.
And you know who else didn't? Will Johnson.
What's that knee?
Yeah.
Worried about that knee.
That's more of an injury thing.
Yeah.
I feel like Mike Green is where Tennessee's going to go.
Okay.
But,
okay.
All right, so are we betting on Travion? Should we take the favorite?
At 33?
Only because... Why would he be such a big favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but if you're going BPA, I would think it would be Mike Green. But again, these sports, they know everything.
No, I'm not saying Mike Green's going at 33.
No, I know. I'm just saying if you go BPA, if you don't go, basically what I'm saying, if you don't go quarterback, I would say the Mike Green, Will Johnson route.
So Mike Green, real quick, loose cannon is 25-1 to go. 33. 33rd over here, 25-1. Yeah.
I think either somebody trades up to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
At 33. Saints, just move up a little bit. Let's get Shador here.
I would, if I'm the Browns, I want to stay at 33 and 36 and get some combination of Travion Henderson, Luther Burden, Mason Taylor, the tight end. Like, just grab offensive pieces and stop trading down.
Maybe Jaden Higgins, if they liked him better.
Him too, from Iowa State.
He's made a lot of noise within the past couple weeks.
Big body receiver.
If you trust the reports that the Saints preferred Jackson Dart over Shador, the fact that they didn't trade up, and I'm not saying they didn't try because we don't know. We don't know all the phone calls that go on, but the fact that they didn't trade up to get Dart makes me think that they wouldn't trade up to get Sanders. If you're down with the idea that they prefer Dart
I understand
over Sanders.
that. Plus you control his fifth-year option if you go in the first round.
Yeah, so for more club control, they didn't do it for the guy who they supposedly like more.
At the best position,
if they got if the Saints traded up for Shador, that'd be kind of viewed as desperation mode. Which
what if he drops? What if the Saints stay at 40?
That's real.
They could still get him there.
There's no team outside of the Browns that has a desperate need for quarterback. It's Houston, Tennessee, the Raiders, New England, Chicago.
Yeah,
all picking in front of you if you're in New Orleans.
Question.
Yeah.
Do you think that, especially let's use New Orleans as the example for Kellen Moore because he's a rookie head coach. Do you think there is a fear of drafting Shador because of his dad? Not because Deion's loud, but because Deion is actually a threat to their job?
We talked about the other day, the unfirables that shouldn't be afraid, like Tomlin and some others. I'm not buying it. I'm not. I don't buy the Deion effect here. I'm buying the fact that people don't think he's got the traits to be a franchise quarterback. He can be a very good one. And they'll just wait on him as a value. I don't think they're...
Yeah, if I'm running the Saints, I can't worry about that. I got
how many guys get drafted in the NFL that are arrogant or have concerns?
Yeah, but their dad isn't rumored to be coaching the Cowboys or whoever.
It's possible from a personal level, you're saying,
that's a Kellen Moore issue. If I'm the front at this point with the Derek Carr stuff looming, post Drew Brees, we've been looking for our guy. Like I'm taking Shador Sanders at 40, and we'll figure it out after that.
Here's the other thing. Play this out for a second. If you're the Saints, if you're Kellen Moore, and you're not good, you draft Shador and he's not good, and you think you're going to lose your job because his dad is the only one that can tap into the magic. Are the Saints buying that? Right. That the only reason he wasn't good is because of the guy we had calling the plays? Like,
I don't know.
Just can't get all the way there. By the way, Roger Goodell also said that the NFL having 3 Christmas Day games moving forward every year now.
Yeah, they're trying to take over everybody's turf, and I completely understand why. Quick shout out to Warren Moon, by the way. He popped up at Cam Ward's introductory press conference and granted him the number 1. It's cool stuff from him.
We have something related to that and tell the truth. By the way.
Good stuff from Warren Moon. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. Offer subject to meeting qualifying criteria.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Remember, my Vikes traded for him. For Warren Moon.
By the way,
turned out pretty well.
Quick shout out to you too. You called the Donovan Jackson pick to your Vikes. That's good stuff.
I may or may not be tapped into that team. We come back with our friend Jensen Lewis. VSiN Live. Guards are a half game back. How are they doing it? We'll ask him next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Boating season is finally here, and Buckeye Lake Marina is your go-to destination for all your on-the-water needs. With the largest inventory in Central Ohio, you can choose from top brands like Bennington, South Bay, Crown Line, and more. Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Pontoon boats, luxury tri-toon boats, even merch. Open 7 days a week to serve you better. Find your next dream boat at Buckeye Lake Marina. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com today for all your on-the-water needs. The good life, the lake life, starts at Buckeye Lake Marina.
I'm an old school Joe, and my philosophy is simple and effective. At the end of the day, it's not what you win or lose, it's what you save. And betting reduced juice at Prime Sports Ohio is the way to save money on every single bet. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Crowd the plate at your own risk. It's time for some chin music with former big leaguer and president of the Bald is Beautiful fan club, Jensen Lewis.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, welcome back into Rothman and Ice. I know it's chin music, but you know what? We got to talk draft and more with this guy, our buddy Jensen Lewis. He's the sports host and analyst on VSiN Live and MLB Network Radio. J-Lu, my friend, how you feeling?
Everything is good, my man. What a night for round one of the draft, and we'll see what happens tonight, rounds 2 and 3 as well.
All right, so let's talk about the draft before we get into baseball, because obviously the big shakeup was the Browns there at the top. And Andrew Berry, and I'm going to give him some credit for this, because I didn't think he needed to blow a lot of smoke because he had the guy there in Travis Hunter. And so I could see it both ways, right? You don't really have to call the guy a unicorn, because if you're going to take him, you're going to take him. But he did that to trade back. What is your belief, that he was just bowled over by the offer, or that these were his intentions the entire time to get out of number 2?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the twofold there, AR, where you look at obviously the skill positions that the Browns are in need of, and they just need so many different things, and it's not like they were going to compete this year and maybe even the next year. Still need the quarterback. They don't have an answer for that yet. And so it really didn't do them any good to take a Travis Hunter, who they still had no idea whether he would be full-time as a wide receiver or he would play, both ways defensively as well. So I think he really capitalized on people just thinking that the shiny toy is one that you couldn't pass up. You hear all the talk about generational and things of that nature, and yeah, maybe he still is. But for where the Browns are and for competing in the AFC North the next handful of seasons, you needed to try and build through the trenches. And so getting the haul, I think that's the other part of where this deal ends up being consummated, is that you get that kind of generational haul and you get those kind of picks not only this year, but also in a stronger draft next year. Let's underline that part of it too, AR, because you and I well know when you look at the quarterbacks potentially that are there next year, if indeed they don't take one tonight, then they're in a much better spot from an ammo standpoint to move up and get the guy that they want.
Well, you and I and Maddie can debate all day long on why Shedeur didn't get picked in the first round, and a lot of people take your pick. And from a football sense, though, I think certainly when the Steelers passed on him, that's another quarterback-needy franchise. I think they finally, the league, not collectively, but just individually said that they don't believe he's a franchise guy. Now, maybe he could be coming out of the second round. Their quarterbacks have been taken later that have turned into legends. But I would ask it this way. Do you believe, and your boys at VSiN Live, do they believe he is the favorite to go to the Browns tonight in that first pick of the second round or not?
He's certainly the favorite to go to Cleveland, at least by the odds. But if it were me, I would be looking still at the Saints as a potential that could jump up there. I think you could find New Orleans to draft Shedeur around 5 or 6 to 1, depending on what books you're at. I'd also look at Jalen Milroe. You mentioned the Steelers. So that might also be a team upwards of 3 to 1 that may have waited long enough and say, all right, that's a guy that we feel we can plug and will be a little bit easier of an onboarding process there. So, yes, is the possibility for Shedeur there by the odds, almost a $4 favorite to go to the Browns. Whether that happens at 33 or not remains to be seen.
J-Lou, let's transfer over to the Diamond, but stay in the same city and talk about the Guardians, who have won 5 of their last 6 games, almost sweep the New York Yankees, but the momentum that they've caught right now, J-Lou, talk about what you're seeing from Stephen Vogt and his guys and why they've been able to cook with some hot grease here recently.
Yeah, they have. Matty, how about 7-2 as a home favorite for those that want to bet on them tonight, welcoming in the Boston Red Sox. So I think first and foremost, it begins with where Stephen Kwan is. 7-game hit streak right now. He's hitting nearly 400, the igniter atop that lineup, and getting some of the clutch hits, guys. We saw it in that Yankee series where they're behind, and then all of a sudden the Guardiac kids come out and they find a way to win it late with an opportunity to almost sweep them. So you hold serve and you do what you have to do. But now in this middle series of the homestand, let's see against maybe a much better offense. They're not hitting that way right now, but collectively I think the Red Sox could be a better offense than the Yankees by the time we get that down to August and September. That being said, Matty, I think this series comes down to a lot of the late game execution. Both bullpens are actually in pretty good shape. Starting rotation, maybe a little bit of a lean to Boston, but boy, the way that the Guardians have swung it at home and the way they've done it with runners in scoring position, that's been the equalizer for them. This should be a great series starting tonight.
So you are, let's use the word impressed by the fact that Class A has got an ERA near 8, and I believe they have a negative run differential, and their record is what it is, 14-10.
Isn't that something they are? And I think that's part of what you get with just nearly a month of sample size to look at. But, hey, without Cade Smith, without Hunter Gaddis, where's the back end of this bullpen? And they have been able to cover up the inconsistency and the ineffectiveness even more so for Emmanuel Clase at this point. Do I think Clase gets right? I think he eventually gets it right. He just has to gain some of that confidence back, and I think just trust a little bit more in his God-given ability. If he does that, I think he rights the ship here pretty quickly. Now it's a matter of moving forward, bigger picture, AR, is that the leverage innings that this bullpen unit had to go through last year, it is not sustainable if Stephen Vogt's going to run him out there again and do it over a 6-month campaign. I think you probably see some tapering or maybe picking some spots here. And Cade Smith's kind of impressed in with the ineffectiveness of Clase, maybe a bit more so than they would like early. But I'm anxious to kind of watch here the next month or so. What is the workload like for those guys in the back end, and can they delegate a bit more to save them for eventually what they'll need later in the season?
So, J-Lou, going down to the Natty, Tito and the gang right around 500, 12-13 record at the moment. I want to ask you about 2 new faces that they brought in that are off to pretty good starts in Austin Hayes and Gavin Lux. 2 new outfielders, 2 new bats in this lineup that seem to be catching a nice pace here and catching some good things coming out of the box. But just that addition around Ellie, around Matt McClain, just talk about how important Hayes and Lux could be the rest of the way for the Reds.
Yeah, they've been catalysts so far. And Hayes, you saw plenty of his time almost in a platoon role for Baltimore and Brandon Hyde's group, and still was plenty effective. Ended up going over to the Phillies there for a little postseason run and into the regular season. Gavin Lux similarly just did not have the sustained playing time in LA, as we know, with the Dodgers. But I think now the versatility and the belief, right? Sometimes You just need your manager to say, I'm penciling you in no matter what, and just go out there and play the game. Guys, I think the most fascinating part about the Reds, they're the only National League team that has surrendered fewer than 100 runs. Yet here they are looking, and you could probably go up and down the calendar and look at least a couple of games out west in that West Coast swing that they should have gotten across the line, blew some late leads. If they get any semblance of consistency in their bullpen, it's all there, guys. Offensively, that group, when the weather gets warm at Great American Launching Pad, there may not be another team you want to try and go in and limit their offensive output. So I think it's still all there. There are odds north of, I think, maybe only a handful of games out. I tell you, if you want to add them to your portfolio, by all means. I think they're too talented, and I think the pendulum has to swing back in their favor from a bullpen standpoint sooner than later.
Okay, where's the pizza money going tonight, my man?
All right, so anytime you see a Coors Field under 10 runs, that always raises a flag for me. So Andrew Abbott, Kyle Freeland could be an intriguing matchup. I do like the Rockies on the run line, but hopefully the Reds can win it by one. Also like a couple of totals, guys. Nationals and Mets. Mets have been super hot. I think they continue their winning ways, but you could see some runs in that one as well.
All right, my man. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the draft, and we'll talk soon.
You got it. Thanks, boys.
You got it. That's Jensen Lewis on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. We will come back with Tell the Truth in moments. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
Everybody poops. Everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Guys, listen up. How many of you out there have been diagnosed with sleep apnea? Maybe your partner can't tolerate your snoring every night. You can't stand your CPAP machine. I totally get it. But the good news is there are alternatives to the CPAP machine. And Dr. Mark Levy is here to change your sleep and your life. Trust me, your spouse will thank you later. Dr. Mark Levy can customize an oral appliance that opens your airways, helps you breathe better, and of course, stops your snoring. That's the main point. It's quick and comfortable and an alternative to those bulky, loud CPAP machines you always hear about. For over 15 years, Dr. Mark Levy has led the way when it comes to treating snoring and sleep apnea, and now he's expanding his practice to better serve his patients with a brand new location in Marysville. I love Marysville. If you're snoring and not sleeping, you need to call Dr. Mark Levy's office today. Do not delay. Schedule your appointment today with Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. You can also visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. And now, sleepbettermarysville.com too.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members of FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to the Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at the Fan.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Find everyday savings and bargains on produce, meat, and more. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting long-term lower prices. With our weekly sales, deals for days promotions, and My Perks loyalty program, Giant Eagle helps make the most out of every shopping trip. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle and Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
I can't wait to meet her. Oh my gosh.
Put your hands together for new Dr. Pepper Blackberry and Dr. Pepper Blackberry Zero Sugar.
There she is! Woohoo! Yeah! It's full Dr. Pepper!
With sweet blackberry flavor!
Dr. Pepper Blackberry, I'm obsessed with your succulent taste. Please marry me!
No! Marry me! Marry me, or I'm gonna freak out!
Try new Dr. Pepper Blackberry.
It's a pepper thing!
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. For all your window needs, visit WindowNation.com.
All right, a couple things before we get to truth.
We love you.
We do love you. And find out, if you want to get in shape, find out who Jackson Dart's mom's trainer is. I think that'd be a good roadmap.
Okay.
The other thing that I saw last night was they went to Jackson Dart's house, and it was pretty crowded.
It was booming in there.
There was had to be like a college friend or somebody just sleeping, arms folded.
Long night.
I mean, even Grandma next was up. And so a buddy of mine said, Grandma's still awake. And I wrote back and I said, well, she didn't get hammered last night.
It looked like all the wrestlers.
Look at that little dude.
The WWE Hall of Fame induction speech where Triple H was up there for an hour and they cut to the crowd and Jey Uso was sleeping. Everybody else was sleeping. Look, man, I'm never mad at a good nap. You always got to find a way to get a nap. And he definitely, I'm looking at the tweet you put out last night, he's out. Arms folded, neck back.
But he's trying, Maddie, to look like he's just resting. Like elbow me when the pick happens, kind of thing.
You know who I felt bad for was there was a baby when Kelvin Banks got selected.
I
was
saw
just
the same
kinda
thing.
Getting shoved
and
around
then she was
a little
clapping,
bit.
and the head of the baby was
people zoomed in, and the baby was throwing up a little bit. Like, can we get this baby a safe place?
Not only that, probably needed some earmuffs because it was going crazy. And I'm thinking this little baby, not only is he getting jostled around, but it was the noise. And I'm like, that's so funny you mentioned. I saw the same thing.
I just felt bad for that little baby.
Two things about this picture, Rothman. I like this picture for two reasons. One, the guy sleeping, if he's a college friend from Ole Miss, that means his girlfriend's a 10, regardless of what he looks like. Second of all, the guy who they're showing front and center
is not Dart.
That's Jackson Dart's brother. Who
Is
looks
that your
just
little brother?
like
I
him.
know.
That's ridiculous.
Did you guys see those two last night? They were showing Jackson Dart's brother on the screen, and I didn't know that was his brother until he got drafted, and somebody else got up.
Okay, I got
and I'm
something
like,
else
wait, they've
for
been
you
showing
guys.
I
the
also
wrong
think
guy this whole
Jackson
time.
wears glasses, right?
He was last night.
Yeah.
Maybe
I got
there's
something else for you guys,
character
too.
lenses.
In this picture that AR tweeted out. Top right corner.
Oh, no. See, I didn't examine this enough.
Field Yates.
100%.
Wait, really?
No. Just a lookalike.
That's exactly what I was about to say. The kid that's in the top right corner of your picture that you tweeted out at Anthony Rothman on Twitter, because I know this isn't great radio right now, but Twitter. He looks just like Field Yates. Like,
a younger brother version. Yes, in the eyes and the face, I see it.
Baby Chet read my mind.
There we go.
That's him.
Oh, we're having some fun.
Who's the dude behind the guy sleeping? He's got kind of an interesting look.
These guys all look like high schoolers.
Well, there are some little kids over there to the left,
maybe
too.
Look, the younger Dart. Maybe those are his homies.
You know what? It's funny. If you
the Dart who they were showing on the screen all day?
If you didn't know any better, you would think the brother was Jackson and the woman to the left was the mom.
Yeah.
And the only person that... You know what? This is a weird pic. There's a lot of different looks in this thing.
Yeah.
That's a pretty happening party right there.
Yeah, it was booming in there last night. I'm not mad at it. All right.
Who's the dude in the front with, like...
I don't know.
The blue
People are
quarters.
probably yelling at us like we can't see the picture.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad. You can just go to Twitter and look it up.
Saying. Check out AR Twitter. Some other good stuff.
So let's figure this out and tell the truth. We've got a few minutes because I'm trying to make a bet here on Bet365. So who's going with the first? Forget about the team. Which player is going to get picked at 33? Travion Henderson is now a fairly heavy favorite at minus 125. Shedeur is plus 575. And when I told myself to take the value on Luther Burden when he was 9-1, is now down to 4.5. So you tell me. I don't like betting the favorite.
I know
There's
you
just
don't.
no fun there.
I know you don't.
I think Shedeur, somebody may come up. Maybe the Saints call Cleveland and say,
I kind of liked your Luther call from earlier, to be honest with you.
Well, now it's down to 4.5 to 1. Not that that's horrible.
Yeah, jeez. You're like the guy who wins the lottery and is like, oh, you taxed me? Oh, I guess I'm poor now.
Somebody at Turtle the other day, I can't remember who asked me about, where did you get your hole-in-one? And my answer was, it's 7. There's the little one.
Why are you doing that?
I just said,
the par 3.
I said, it wasn't over. It wasn't 9.
Doesn't matter.
It wasn't over the water.
How many golfers would kill to do that?
No, I know. And I caught myself while I was saying, I'm like, yeah, it's just 7.
Enjoy the wins,
I know.
baby.
Anyway.
Enjoy the wins. You're better than me. I'd lie and say I did it on Tiger Woods Golf, the video game, and act like I did in real life.
That may feel just as good. Who knows? All right, so where's the money going?
Oh.
We need a consensus here. Pick 33.
Luther,
4.5 to 1. We just split the difference.
The safe.
I have to tell the truth about Luther. We'll get to him in a second. He's not in my good graces right now, but still, even so.
So you're going Luther plus 450.
Yes.
AR wants to do that because there's more juice there. AR, I've known him for years. He does like to play it safe, but I know it's a Freaky Friday, so you want more value. I got no issue with that at all. And that's it. Well, see, both areas of need for them are there. Running back and wide receiver.
And they've already told us that the quarterback is an afterthought this year.
Feels that way. After last night, it really does.
And if you really like Shedeur that badly, would him just dropping to 33 be enough for you to say, now we have to take him? He's a quarterback. Like you would have somehow gotten in the back of that first round if you felt someone was going to steal him from you. I don't know.
Yeah, I see that.
All right, so
throw a little cash on Luther Burden.
We'll go Burden.
I also liked last night, too, that Luther Burden at like midnight threw out a picture of him.
Dang it, way to steal my thunder.
My bad.
No, set it up. I don't know the story.
All right. We'll do one, tell the truth. Here we go. Luther Burden III posted an Instagram story last night at 12:52 in the morning of his helmet, cleats, and gloves on the turf at the Missouri practice facility. So he wanted everyone to know that he was parlaying his pain into motivation. Is this inspiring or corny as hell? Leading question.
It's not inspiring me, nor do I think it's corny.
Oh, great.
Why? The dude was motivated to get back in the lab.
Actually, who was the guy, and I'll answer your question in a second, who was the guy that was so excited when he was talking to Molly McGrath that he said the richer just got rich?
Oh, I missed this.
Hang on.
Jihad Campbell?
It was. I think it was Jihad Campbell.
It?
Yes. He got so excited. Where did he go?
Eagles.
Yes. So he goes to the Eagles. She's interviewing him. He's like, oh, what's it like? He goes, the richer just got rich. And I'm thinking, it's good. You got both of them right. You just need to swap
Just
them.
flip them.
Yeah.
Just flip them, big dog.
Yeah.
Is it inspiring or corny?
I see it now. I'm a show day.
I think that part was fake.
I'm a show day is what he meant.
So there's a football cleat, some gloves, a water bottle, and one flip-flop.
I didn't get drafted. Look how hard I'm working, and I'm going to show them.
You think this was because he was working out?
No, it's because he didn't get drafted in the first round. He's like, I'm not good enough. I got to keep working.
Was it Victor Oladipo who did this a couple years ago, right after they got eliminated from the playoffs or something?
I believe so. Yeah, I believe so.
Where there were text messages of him and his trainer that were leaked to like. His trainer's like, oh, man, look, Victor texted me right away, right after they got eliminated. He's ready for next year.
It was him. Before we go, if you ever miss anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up via the podcast wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Bet365 is the exclusive sports betting sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast.
And I am looking at a half-empty bottle of Cavatier, which means that we are just about out of time.
Indeed. Have an awesome weekend, and we'll talk to you next week. Enjoy the rest of the draft. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Anthony. Of course, I sit and do the show 3 hours a day. But after that, I'm looking to get things done and enjoy the spring weather. So I want to be on my feet a lot, playing golf, working out, just moving around. I was introduced to the Good Feet store because my feet were aching way too often. And what I found there is a 3-step custom arch support system that has me feeling awesome. My personally fit arch supports have helped realign my feet, reposition my body into a more ideal position, and not only that, strengthen my feet to help support me. It's made all the difference in how I feel every day. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And when you wear them as a system, their arch supports are more effective at long-term pain reduction and elimination. So go in, take the free test walk. Good Feet arch supports are immediately available. Their products are proudly made in the USA. They're on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City or at goodfeet.com.
Spring into a new vehicle at Crown Automotive Group of Dublin. Luxury, power, and adventure, all waiting for you. Explore our vast selection of exquisite Mercedes-Benz, the all-new rugged Ineos Grenadier, and the powerful lineup of Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and Ram vehicles. Crown Automotive Group in Dublin is proud to be the only dealership in Columbus awarded a J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence Award for the customer sales experience. Visit Crown Automotive Group of Dublin on Perimeter Drive in Dublin or online at crowncarsdublin.com. Crown Automotive Group, the better way to buy.
Hey, living with chronic pain, it's like trying to get comfortable on a cactus sofa, walking on pins and needles. Nothing feels good. And forget trying to do the things you love and enjoy. Like the spring, it's getting warm, whether you want to golf, whether you want to hike, whether you want to bike, whether you want to play pickleball. You're just trying to get by. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter here. I want you to know something. The medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus are on the case and focused to finally get you the relief you need. Finally, calm that debilitating joint pain in your knee just like I did. Maybe it's your hip, your shoulder, your back. Don't miss a beat, no surgery or long recovery. I'm done with getting cut on. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They give you your life back. A life healthier, free of harmful meds. That's the whole mission of QC Kinetics. You could be a candidate. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus to find out how easy it is. They've got offices now in Canal and Grove City, so call 380-208-4544.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, HIMS can help. Through HIMS.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at HIMS.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but HIMS can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to HIMS.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and nope, I'm not passing out draft predictions today. I'm making a bolder prediction, an opportunity, one might say. How about setting a goal to lose 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180? Has a different ring to it when you have a finish line, right? 40 by the 4th. Imagine this. Your scale shows 230 today. How about watching that bad boy dip to a cool 190 by Independence Day? Or maybe it's reading over 300 like my scale did. How would it feel
being 260 by the 4th, and on your way to losing 70 pounds. Again, like I did with Awaken 180. Looking back, it took me only 8 weeks to drop my first 40 pounds, and with the same results, you'll crush that goal by the 4th. Then ring Independence Day in, shirt off, confident, crack beer, and a burger in hand. You can celebrate reaching your goal knowing you're going to keep the weight off, all thanks to Awaken 180's free support for life. Again, 40 by the 4th may seem crazy, but you can definitely do it. Set your goal and attain it with your long-term solution